We are live. What's up, fuckers?
Yeah.
Shaun and I are back, and we're here with our boy, Matt Mitrione. Hey.
All right,
What's
let's go,
up,
big
baby?
meat. Look at
What's
meat's hair.
up?
Look at meat's hair looking nice.
Got that quarantine life going strong.
Hey, you know what that is, right? That's like my modified flock of seagulls whip right there.
I
I'm
like
feeling it. I think
And
that
I ran. And
Have
not
you-
flock of seagulls?
I heard that you have now have the same
Yeah.
exact manager in the All right, I gotta get this out. The same agent as Luke Rockhold, and you've been fucking taking gigs from him and shit.
I love that motherfucker, man. Did you see that fucking
See him
video
bull
clip of him
riding?
wrestling that fucking cow? That bull?
Yeah.
The dude.
Hey, ooh, is that honey in the background, Shaun? What's going on back there?
That was their son.
Oh, my fault. Sorry.
Come on.
It's got soft lighting over here.
You ain't that drunk yet. You ain't that indiscriminate. Hey, you fucking first of all, have you ever had your head shaved? I assume as a fighter or as an ex football player, you were down with shaving your head at some point.
As an ex-con, you meant to say?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
actually, I did not grow much hair during college. I was
You kept a
I
buzz?
was bald headed through college most of the time.
Really? You got a
Yeah.
good shape head for that?
No, not really. But I don't have like a little pack of hot dogs back there.
Well,
I
that's
just like
important, dude.
flexing on camera for Shaun to get
Dude,
nervous.
that's why I wore a sleeveless shirt, man. Trying to make you get motivated and shit. Go back to the gym, bro.
I've lost it. I've lost everything. I have not hit a weight since
Now-
COVID hit.
But you got a real whiskers.
The
man.
thing
You
about
got a
losing
real
stuff though
beard
is
on
that
your
means
top.
at one point you had to have it.
Yeah, that's true. Like it's cool. Like if you say you lost it, because that means at one point you had something.
Oh, I know it's wrong.
What?
Testing 1 2. My back.
You're
Man, you're a fucking amateur, dog.
Mitrione's dogging you for being an amateur. Oh, Chef came back as a second character. you in two cameras, man. How you do that?
I don't know. I had to leave and come back. I was on the wrong Wi-Fi network. Do you want me to? There we go.
No, I got
Hey,
you.
you can't steal your neighbor's Wi-Fi and expect to be a pro, dog.
Did you bring it over from the other neighbor's house and run it to the basement?
Well, my girl's family lives in the front house. I'm in the back.
Ah, nice.
They got 2 houses on the property, and I'm in the back property with my lady and her
hold on,
son and
man.
daughter.
Hold on. You married up that hard, dog?
Double
yeah.
house.
I
He's
don't
in a
even know
double
what
house
double house is.
situation, brother.
That's
We're try-
for real.
Dude, listen, meat. We're gonna be redoing Todd's bar. We're gonna take. He has a little shed barn in the back, and we're gonna need your construction skills
Yeah.
to help us build it.
Yeah, you're handy. You're handy, bro.
I'm so down, bro. I got every tool known to man.
Look, dude,
Really?
we're gonna build this fucking thing out. I'll bring my truck up there. We'll haul down all your tools, and then we're gonna build this fucking shed out into a fucking outdoor pub.
Yeah, it's a shed.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have live events out there if we want.
And
Hey, so listen, man. So a kegerator is played out, right?
Yeah.
So what's like our next? What's our next? Like a kegerator was from the late '80s to the mid '90s.
Mm-hmm.
What goes forwards from a kegerator?
a full draft setup, like a bar.
It's
Yeah,
either
that's a lot of effort, man.
it's full bar with like with 3 naked girls there just cracking bottles for you. Like fucking, that's the future of outdoor bar drinking. I think.
You know,
Like there's a
I'm-
whole service I'm going to create. I'm like there's no market for that right now. If you right now could pay for 3 naked girls to come over and bartend your outdoor party, who's not doing that?
well, you know,
What about dudes with chicks that don't like that type of stuff?
Wait,
You know,
it's
hypothetically.
weird. I didn't know you married a Puritan, Shaun. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not a
Did she
strip
come from
club guy.
Delaware or something like that? Did
I
she?
don't think there's any way my lady's signing up for that either, meat.
Yeah.
She's going to be like, you want
I
what?
got the only raucous chick in this joint. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Your
Yep.
chick would not mind at all. She's, no.
Maybe your lady will go stand and get all the ones for you. Take a few hundo, get some ones. But
Come on. We have a routine already established. It's all right. But I you know, it's going to be marinating on me for a while. Like the next come up of the kegerator. By the end of this show, I'm going to have an idea. I'm just going to blurt it out when it comes up.
well, there's only a couple of ways to do it, right? I mean, it's old school kegerator. straight regular, just bottles and cans, or a straight up setup, like when you got the loot.
Nah, man, that's see. Listen,
You ever see the thing that you set your draft beer on and it fills it from the bottom?
Yeah.
That dude's
Christy
in
Lee's
Indianapolis.
podcast.
Yeah,
Did he really?
the guy who invented it lives in Indianapolis.
I didn't know that,
I
man.
partied with him one time. Yeah, that's
Tell
a
me
cool
he goes
system.
hard.
Oh,
Christy
yeah.
Lee's podcast, they have that big ass awesome table where you just set it in the middle, you push it and it just fills right up.
From the bottom, dude, it fills your glass.
It's magic.
I met Chrissy Lee at one of Pat's shows.
Mm-hmm.
She's a nice
Sweetheart.
lady, man. I still follow her.
Yeah, she's cool as shit.
I got one of those. I got one of those things here in Lafayette. With one of those fill from the bottom up things.
Oh yeah.
But I've never used it, to be totally honest with you.
You can still like order them through the dude. I think.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what we do.
Good for him.
You know why it does? It's a non-foam. You're not going to get the foam because it's not, the gravity isn't pushing down and getting it all fucked up.
Exactly.
But isn't part of getting the tap beer getting the head?
Well, I think it gives you some head, just not enough.
Yeah,
just-
you don't
it's
have
like
to
a
sit
bad
there and
date.
wait 5 minutes between fucking pours. You
You're
know what I
saying
mean?
one of those machines like a bad date is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yep,
no
yep,
head,
yep.
no head.
Meat man, so it's just so good to see you guys, bro. Listen,
Yeah.
I've been Todd. I've been hanging out with Todd on Zooms and shit lately. And
When's the
now-
last time you guys saw each other in person?
When he came and did shows at Helium, I think.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Last
Oh,
October.
I remember that one time you didn't invite me to your shows. and-
Yeah.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you have a couple of whiskeys, you start knocking out the crowd. Next thing you know, I'm talking to nobody. I needed a crowd.
No respect, no respect. Hey, how's
your-
that bullet, Shaun?
That bullet tastes nice. It's just the perfect amount of little smokiness, got a little sweetness in there, not a real clean finish. It's a quality bourbon. That's why
So-
I'm coming here.
What type of bullet is it?
This is straight bourbon.
So that's like that every
I'm not a
day
rye
bourbon-
guy. The rye is not my thing. It's not as I like this, whatever this is. Whatever the opposite of rye that this is. I can't think of
Anti-rye?
it right now. Yeah, the non-rye. That's fucking. Hey, I think Mushroom
grass.
Matt's in the comments. He'd know.
Is the rye? I don't see any comments. How do I see comments?
Go over to the right where you see private chat. Next to it says
Yeah.
live comments. Click live comments.
Oh,
you
we have
see
an
all of
audience
them.
right now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! There's that many people.
Yeah.
These people, a
You're a
lot of
big
these fools
deal,
coming
bro.
out every time, man. They're good people.
Hey,
Yeah.
I fucking have moonshine in my fridge right now. I totally forgot about it. I might be breaking that out
Oh,
here at some point.
shit.
My fucking lady's mom's boyfriend fucking makes his own moonshine now.
Well, that's true Indiana hillbilly
Actually, he
shit.
like Indiana. He like distills it himself.
It's good too, dude. It's smooth and it's got a little bit of a smoke taste to it. Oh, it's good.
How do you get a smoke taste in something?
I have no idea.
The
I need
smokiness
to go
comes
over-
from you take like a blowtorch, right? And you flame the wood of the barrel.
that it sets in. Yeah, that's
Before
right.
you put it in there.
Yeah, a lot. I think they make them like that before they distill them because in order, a true bourbon can only be used, the barrel only used one time. So all these oak barrels that they make any kind of bourbon in can only be used once. So that's why those barrels are shipped all over the world for other types of shit, other scotches, other whiskeys and things like that. Cognacs, brandy.
I just
But
thought they blew
I-
smoke into it, like when they make meth. Like if you
Yeah, yeah,
blow it
yeah.
in there and smoke it out.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that to be an authentic bourbon, you can only use that barrel one time?
That's the rules, one time, and then it goes to, and tequila has bourbon barrels, tons of craft beer.
That's why you can buy those barrels all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like people buy them and put them in their house and make tables out of them and shit because they're just out there in the market.
Is it because they feel that it steals the flavor of the wood if you do it more than once?
I think it's kind of like when I worked in jail, I was a prison guard. You would every morning I
He was. You didn't
I
know?
swear to God that's true.
Yeah, he
No,
was.
get the fuck out of here.
No, I swear to
dude.
God, I'll send you the picture in my uniform.
That was his first
You
career,
were
bro.
prison guard?
2 years. I got
Yeah.
fired, got a DUI, and moved to Phoenix, got a job at Olive Garden, started pushing breadsticks. Okay. But I worked there, right? So when you work
Hey, you're not fucking with me. You're being for real.
No, he's for real.
Yuma County Sheriff's Office.
He was going to be a state trooper like me until he
You
got that
under
DUI.
Sheriff Joe Arpaio?
I believe that would have been under him. Yeah, I think so because that was the late 90s, 98, 99.
Oh, that was in the heyday.
Yeah, 99, 2000, 98, 99. But what would happen was when you work the low security, the no risk guys that are only there on some dumb shit.
Yeah.
They're not locked in their cell all day. They get to walk around the day room. So when you're the morning guy, you come in, you got to set the coffee up, you get it ready, and then all these fucks line up with their little cup. They come through and they get their jail coffee. And if you don't pay attention,
is jail coffee good coffee?
No, it's terrible. but it's humongous. In there, it's fucking the most pristine. It's like that coffee that you get from the squirrels' assholes in Canada.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons. It's like
it's Tim Hortons.
And caffeine's going to be like the closest thing they had to a drug in a long time. 100%. So it's going to be like money, man.
Hey,
it's like
don't
currency.
fool yourself. You know that's not true either, Todd.
Oh, they get the ass dope.
Yeah.
They get the ass dope for sure. Like Easter dope.
So what happens is once they all go through the line, if you don't pay attention and you don't go and throw away the coffee grounds from the one round of coffee, they'll run back through and do the grounds again. Even though it'll be watered and shitty ground coffee, it's still better than water.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens with the whiskey barrels. They don't want it to be, less flavor. Happen. It's not going to be as potent of an aging agent, if you will.
Yeah. No, you're totally right. Because people would fuck it up. They would reuse them.
Yeah. So that's what. But anyways, with the craft beer boom, those barrels are flying off the shelves. I mean, I think it's called a Russian Imperial Stout. That's what happened. A Russian Imperial Stout, which is just a porter, but just stronger. It's more stout than a porter. That's where you're going to get the bourbon barrels.
I think jails and prisons should have to use that same policy on ass heroin. Like once that ass brings in heroin one time, you should never be able to smuggle with that ass ever again. You know what I mean? Just to keep that fucking.
What if
I don't want you watering down my ass heroin on the 10th fucking load?
I can't have the 10th load in there. I can't do it, bro.
But what if it gets a nice form pocket though after a certain 6-7 fucking deliveries as far as export import goes?
That's true. That's true. I wonder if you could flavor the inside of the asshole somehow. You know what I mean?
Like the char.
Yeah,
like a char.
Soak yourself in some Kool-Aid.
If you could take some great papers, like some blunt papers, like some great papers, and line your asshole with it.
Yes.
And stuff the dope inside of it. Now you got grape dope.
Who don't want grape dope? That's the thing, man.
Fucking grape ass dope. Even
it looks like, what do they call that when chicks' buttholes blow out the backwards way? What's that called?
I have caught that a couple times in porn videos, and it's not a fan. Not a fan.
Hey, what's that called?
Anytime the body does some shit that it doesn't belong doing, like when the leg goes the wrong way at the kneecap, that's the same thing. I can't handle.
Like what's that movie where the girl sneezes and she's drunk on the side of the bathtub and she shits over the deep shower? Hey man, if my wife would let me prolapse. That's right. ACK, what's up, brother? Prolapse.
Rectal prolapse. Yeah, rectal prolapse. So it could be like if your blunt papers are sticking out enough with it could be like a rectal prolapse. You could just be like, I had a prolapse the other day, man. And I took it back in there. That's all.
Oh shit. Mitrione, what do you got going on? You got some new projects popping off. Let's go. You're a busy man.
Yeah. Bro, I gotta tell you this story about my wife, man. So one day she was home by herself. She can get pissed at me. She's right next to me. She was by herself the other day, and she was like, you know what? I'm going to watch a little bit of porn. So she jumped on some porn site or whatever, and she was watching some flicks. And somehow, if you start watching porn, you might go down that porn rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Because it gets stuck in your head. You're like, oh, I want to do that. I
want to see this, or I want to see that, or whatever else. So she ended up going into.
Why is there only 3 rabbits?
So, she ended up being in this, anal fisting category apparently, and she saw some chick in a prolapsed butthole, and she called me up. She's like, babe, I gotta be honest with you, because she wasn't scared of the old balloon knot before, and she was like, I can't fuck with it anymore, dude. She's like, I saw what happened. What? I can't do it anymore.
What is it with your lady and big ass fists? Between that and you dating you.
Dude,
she likes us, bro.
Your lady cannot let you fist her. You have the biggest fucking mitts on the planet, dude.
Hey, that's part of science, baby.
Your lady's tiny.
Hey, why did that dude Dylan Allison say the pink sock?
I think that's what he calls that butthole. And definitely we can see the comments there. Jared Stevens.
So a prolapse is like a baboon when the asshole goes on the outside.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I just know it from her, the champ over here. That's all.
Damn, I don't ever want to see that,
bro. I'd be falling over.
I don't ever want to see it.
Nope, I'm good without that. Listen, there's just certain things I know that aren't going to do anything for me, and that's one of them. That's one of them.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I heard that sometimes in college, these young bucks will take like a beer bong and they'll put vodka in it, shoot it in their butthole because they get all kinds of drunk.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it fucks you up real quick.
Did you hear about that one like TV anchor, like a news anchor, that like was having this big old meth party and was taking meth and putting it in his butthole and he died from an overdose?
Did he do it at the 10 o'clock hour?
Yeah, apparently he did.
We'll be right back after I die. I just never had a problem with getting drunk, like I don't need any more help. It works fine. Like this right here,
gets in my
after
body
25 years of strong going at it. No breaks, no days off. I don't need to go to the backdoor route for this. I'm just doing great with it right down my throat.
It's just that one guy in every friends group that has to take it to the next level. You know what I mean? He can't ever, like, you're just sitting around and he's like, oh, this ain't cool enough. He's like, hey, what if I put this in my asshole? And then you're like, of course, you're going to be like, yeah, you should put it in your asshole. You're going to want to see it happen. You know what I mean? So you let him fucking put it in his asshole.
There's a dude, Michael Capelli, that just said, I've witnessed a butt chug. Like,
oh, really?
How does somebody what kind of party you at where this dude's like, hey, I got a great idea. Like, I've done some wild shit in my day, but I've never seen a butt chug.
And if you've met Mitrione or Todd McComas, we're talking about an absolute maniac over here that just fights for money at the highest level. And we have a 22-year-old undercover cop that puts his life on the line for God knows how many decades. If these guys aren't doing it, then it shouldn't be done.
You're right.
You guys have really pretty much checked off most boxes.
Yeah.
And I think I finished off the other ones maybe. But
you have to.
If the three of us aren't, if it ain't happening in this room, then it shouldn't really be happening.
It's not like the three of us aren't risk takers. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, I don't need I'll get drunk on my own, bro. Yeah. I'll bong it. I'll bong a beer. I don't, fuck it.
I love getting drunk. Beer. I like the process of getting drunk.
If bonging a beer into your mouth doesn't get you drunk fast enough, then you're just you're a step away from hanging yourself with an extension cord from your balcony anyway.
Just to have an orgasm. Listen, if this doesn't do the trick, then you're in the wrong industry. You're just in the wrong game.
You're right.
This is never let anybody down. This is like the root of all problems starts at the brown bottle.
Agreed.
And if you can't handle that,
like my man G-Eazy says, if I ain't down with the brown, period. That's it, man. That's it. He drinks the brown, bro.
And I drink it very moderately now because it's more of a get emotional and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm way more of a vodka soda fun guy or beers.
Yeah.
This right here is a nightcap now.
I got to be careful on the Irish whiskey. The Irish whiskey brings out the Irishman in me.
Oh yeah.
Are you? What kind of Irish whiskey are you though? Like what's your brand?
I tell you what, I like Connor's. Conor McGregor's
Proper 12.
Proper 12 is, I think, I kept a lot of flack for this. I might like it better than Jameson because usually I'm a Jameson guy.
And I'll tell you what the problem with that is, Todd.
Yep.
It's because to me the vanilla flavoring in there is not from the actual oak barrels.
In Proper 12 you're talking about.
Yes. It's improper. To me, I think it's like a vanilla extract. So that's my problem, is that it's some artificialness to it. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't drank it for a while since it first came out, but like something like this or Jameson is, a little bit more sweet.
I love Jameson.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love Jameson. But I thought Proper 12 was aged in actual Irishmen's assholes. That's the only reason I was drinking. I'm pretty sure that's what the commercial said.
And they can only age it one time in each asshole, and then they sell their assholes to craft beer companies all over the planet.
That's why they're importing so many Irishmen now to try to do work around there. Right?
Then they sell the assholes so you can make a table out of it, put a lamp on top of it.
Oh my God!
So
dude.
I'm actually I think I've taken a shot of Proper 12 before.
Mm-hmm.
I've been taking a gazillion shots of Jameson.
Yeah.
But I actually think I like Tullamore better than Jameson.
See, I've never had it. But people tell me that all the time. I need to try it.
I actually have a bottle of Thule at the house here right now.
Do you really?
I do.
Fucking
Should I switch from that next time
me.
to start instead of drinking peanut butter?
Why is my shit going in and out?
That peanut butter.
Because you're stealing the internet. That's why.
You're cutting out. What's going on?
You're glitching, dog.
Here, go out real quick. I'll bring you back in. Boom.
Dean Michael, listen. Easiest beer to chug is the one I beat you in. So if you want to have a beer chugging contest, you let me know and we'll do it on some kind of social media or some shit.
You are like a king chugger. People don't know.
I want to go against Pat at some point.
That would be a good chugging
he can
competition.
chug beers.
He can. He's very fast.
Can you chug beers, Todd?
I can't. I suck at it. I've never been able to chug. Like
Really?
I'm decent. Like I can hang, but I'm by no means competitive. Like fucking like Pat's one of those gone, you know. And I've seen you do it. Like you guys would be a good race.
I've seen a chick absolutely crush everybody around, but I was too drunk to do it against her. But
really?
I saw this chick.
Back.
Shit! Oh, hey, you know what? Every time Shaun cuts out, the crowd and us need to take a shot or a drink.
Oh, good call.
Or finish a beer.
I need to go get something to take shots with.
You do.
I will after I finish this beer. I'll go get while you guys talk. Hey, before we do that though, can you hear me? Shaun.
He can't hear shit. Again, hey, shots up, kids. Hey, Todd, can the masses see him bailing out when we see him bailing out?
Yeah.
Oh, they all know you're an amateur, bro.
Here's the thing. I'm back though. You know what I mean?
You are.
Hey, Jordan left, but he came back.
Hey, real quick, let's get this out of the way. People need to know that they are replaying your fight, Matt, against Roy Nelson on CBS.
Hey, can he be rebranded as the bloated vagrant? Can we just call him the bloated vagrant from now on?
I heard that he got into the fight game because he was homeless and he slept outside of a jiu-jitsu studio. And that's how he got into the game.
They let him in because he could hold a sign better than anybody else in the game.
And he also used to fight for sandwiches, also, from what I understand.
And he was very good because he ate a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah. He ate a lot of sandwiches.
I will say, of all people, you got to give the guy credit for having that fat beer belly and still having some decent mitts. I mean,
the dude can fight.
He's putting people like my body style on the map, saying you too can do this.
Well, that's why he's so popular, right? Like I really, even though I don't like him as a human being, I think he's a fucking douchebag.
Why is that?
Because he's a low life. That's
okay.
Why. But and he is more arrogant than almost anybody else I've ever met.
Oh, it's like all gone to his head, huh?
Yeah. So I just don't really stomach him very well, but I have to, even though I don't like him, I have to respect him. And that dude has a head full of concrete and can take an amazing amount of ass whooping and deliver one blow and finish a fight.
I will say that because
and I have to respect that
because he took an ass whooping from you and he stayed standing. There was 10 times in that fight. I'm like, he's going out, and he just fucking didn't.
Dude, I hit that dude so many damn times. It was you know what's funny? Like against a dude like him and Karatanov just beat me. And against those two, you have to know that you are most likely not going to knock them out. So like, it's not a game of power. It's a game of just touches. Like you just have to reach out and touch them and know that that's enough.
Because you're just going to get tired too quick if you go fucking 80%.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But that's hard because hitting somebody hard gets your dick hard. Like you're like, oh shit, oh I got him, and then so you start like, oh, and you throw fire in that dude. So I'm saying I'm like, fucking my nipples are rocking up, and I'm like, I'm about to get that dude. And he just doesn't go anywhere. He just stays right there.
What is it about dudes with skulls like that? Like what is it about their equilibrium that listen, just go like this to yourself. If you're a normal human, not one of you fucks, but and your vision still has like a shake, almost like a time, like a time travel. What is it about dudes like that just can't go down?
I have a theory. Tell me if you think this is right, Matt. All right, because there's Neanderthals, and then I forget the other name of the cavemen, like most of us came from.
Yeah.
I think.
Wait a minute, hold on. So we didn't come from Neanderthals. We came from a
there
different.
was Neanderthals, and then another type of species. Right?
I didn't know that.
So Neanderthals were close to like the closest to apes. They had you. They're the thing you see where they're hunched over and they got the giant fat skulls and shit. I think Neanderthals, like you get like Brock Lesnar and people like that, and this guy, like they have extra thick fucking skulls because they got some Neanderthal blood in them, and it just goes down the line because you see dudes like that with giant heads that you just can't fucking knock out. Now I know that Brock Lesnar has a chin that he needs to worry about. So, but I guess I'm just talking skull thickness.
Hey,
like,
dude said Cro-Magnon. Is that who you're thinking of?
Cro-Magnon. Boom. There you go. Yeah.
Go.
Like they're descended to the Cro-Magnon man. I think.
Also, and I just want to make sure that everybody in the comments does know that Jason Wheatley will beat my ass.
He will.
I wouldn't fucking step to no Jason Wheatley.
Don't step to him, dude.
Hey, who's Jason Wheatley?
You know Jason Wheatley. He just he's the homie from Indy.
Yeah.
He sounds like the person that gave a hand job to that one homeless dude underneath the bridge.
Roy Nelson?
Well, let me finish this up real quick.
I'm kidding, Jason. I know who you are.
Go to
man.
CBS Sports Network. CBS Sports Network, April 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. They're going to replay the heavyweight World Grand Prix from Bellator. It was historic. Lots of great fights. You're talking Rampage versus Sonnen, and more importantly, our boy Matt Mitrione versus Roy Nelson, and it's going to be on CBS Sports Network. It's called Bellator MMA Recharged.
Hey, so they're
replays.
re-showing the entire heavyweight tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you guys are going to see me.
I don't know if it's all at once, but parts of it.
Anybody that's watching this, you guys are going to see me get absolutely molested by Ryan Bader at some point.
He just laid on top of you, bro. I'm still pissed.
No, I'll tell you what.
Shitty fight.
Ryan Bader kicked my ass, bro. like I can play it to the left all I want, and I can talk shit about wrestling, but Ryan Bader kicked my ass, man.
It's part of the game, of course.
Yeah.
All I ask is that they do something while they get you down there. You know, I mean, I get it's hey, good for you. You're able to control this person, but you're not damaging the person. You're just sucking their will to want to fight more. And wearing them down.
Well, I agree to that. There wasn't. He couldn't. I don't think that Bader could have faced me. If he would have, he would have. Right?
You mean just stand up and bang it out?
Yeah,
or
but that's
even
not
on
his
the ground,
game,
right? Like
that's not his game.
He couldn't have put you in like an arm triangle and fucking choked you or made you submit. Right?
He tried to catch me in a Kimura, and it was. I was at the point. I told you this before. I think I was at the point where my left arm was behind me, and it hurt, and I was like, you know what? Fuck him. Let him break it. Fuck him. And then he didn't push to that point. So and then that's when I just took another round and a half and ass beating. I got my ass kicked. But he was at a point where it hurt. And I remember I was about to tap and I was like, yeah, fuck him. Let him break it.
Here's something I've always pushed for. Why is there not a version, and I know you can't call it MMA if you don't include all fighting styles, but if with the same gloves, everything the same, except you could take somebody down and score by takedown, but you got to get right back up. I want to see, because toe-to-toe, fighting on their feet, you as a heavyweight, I don't know anybody can beat you. Just pure on your feet fighting.
Karatanov did. He just beat me.
Okay, yeah.
But there's
that's getting caught. That's not getting beat over,
Yeah, but he let me say this, man. Karatanov was very disciplined in the way he fought me. And he saw the fact that my mouthpiece kept falling out. He saw I was frustrated. I broke his nose in the first round. They thought I ruptured his spleen. And he still kept his composure and waited for me to lose mine when he saw my mouthpiece kept falling out, and waited for me to run into his punches because I wanted to finish the fight because I was so frustrated I couldn't control myself.
You were fucking tired.
No, I hadn't. Well, I gassed myself because I was
Because of the
clenching.
breathing trouble.
That
Yeah.
mouthpiece.
I was clenching when I was clenching it so it didn't fall out again because I didn't want to lose a point.
And I don't think people realize like that in itself takes fucking energy out of you and sucks oxygen out of your fucking blood and
It's hard
restricts
to
your breathing.
breathe with your teeth clenched. It's hard.
One of
But
the worst parts about training and learning how to fight with you guys and the minimum amounts that I did was how to do it with a fucking piece of shit in my mouth.
Well, yeah, but that's because you suck asshole.
And he froze on that one. Dude. What
Take a shot.
cilantro. I'm all into that. I've been watching Ray Donovan. There's a lot of cilantro in there.
Big Ray Donovan guy. I've been
it.
barreling through some Better Call Saul. I banged through Ozark season 3.
Oh, it's a good one.
I finished Ozarks. I thought it was really good. I just started Bloodline.
Oh, I've
been watching that too. I started that. My lady was watching it.
Baby, how deep are we in Bloodline right now?
We're not. You're like 4 or 5 episodes.
She's like, we're 3 or 4 episodes in, and I'm not hooked yet.
Right.
I'm not.
I
But
skipped the 4 first episodes and I just skipped right into the rest of the season. My lady got caught up and I'm good to go. I like it.
Yeah.
Really?
I got to get into
Yeah.
it. Hey, Matt,
So
I have a
nice.
question for you. I think
What's
I might
up?
have saw this earlier or whatever. What's the craziest shit you've ever done? The craziest thing you've ever done in your life where you're like, either I should have fucking died from that or I could have went to prison for that or whatever.
well, hold on a minute, man. There's a mad different genres of conversation you're talking about right now. Like, I don't have crazy shit I've ever done in this one, in this overall perspective. I've got drugs, I've got fucking partying, I've got madness when I was younger, I got adult partying, I got getting fucking weird. I mean, I got a lot of different conversations here.
What's the getting weirdest thing you've ever done?
This is a wild question with this kid.
Yeah, because I just can't wait. It's going to be something where I'm going to be like, we're going to be shocked. I can.
Okay, so I was younger.
Okay.
We were down in Florida.
And just for the record, this didn't happen in the future.
Right. okay. We just want to make sure everybody knows that.
We were drunk as fuck, and we were down in South Florida. And I was with the girl I was dating at the time.
Okay.
And we were at this a taco joint called El Camino.
Okay.
And they have Taco Tuesday, and it goes hard on Sunday Fun Day. And we were there on a Saturday, and we were drinking hard, and we were going at it. And this couple next to us was doing it. And motherfucker froze out again. Take a shot, dog. Shit.
But I can hear you guys, so
Sriracha.
keep going.
Yeah.
Don't stop. I can hear everything just fine.
All right. Well, we ended up like the girl I was dating was kind of into this one chick, and like they were vibing and talking a bunch of shit or whatever else. And they were like, "Hey, let's go to this one place. It's called Trapeze. It's a different kind of club." And we're like, "All right, cool. We'll go to some place
Sounds
called
different.
Trapeze." And we went there.
First
and
of
it was
all,
like
can I just say right now, if you invite me to a club called Trapeze, I know I'm in for a fucking show.
All
Like
right.
I just know. That's the perfect name. For whatever
That's
kind of artist.
exactly where this is gonna go.
All right.
So we're partying. I ate some shrooms. I was fucking going pretty hard at it, yeah, we were going at it. But I'm more of a psychedelic. So like when I was young in high school and in college, we used to eat shrooms and take X-ing called MX Missile. So like there's a chance I was like on that path, right?
All right.
So we might have gotten all kind of fucked up, and we ended up going to this club called Trapeze. And so we went to go in there. It's like this club, and then like it's kind of strange because in the back of the club there's all these people in towels, and I didn't really understand what was going on. The guy was pretty fucking whacked, the guy was pretty fucked up. And then like later on, like why are all these people in towels? And the people we went with were like, just come with us. So we got changed in these towels and we go back there, and dude, it is a fucking massive Roman orgy in this motherfucker, dude. Like it is a fucking set that was like I have never seen before, dude. Like it was 250 people in this room. And it was just the fucking madness, dude. Like, it was something I've never experienced before.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I've been in college and I've done some pretty crazy shit. Like, I've been in a lot of like group situations, and like you walk in and there's just like these mirrors with like all kinds of madness going on. I've been in some crazy stuff, and this thing just took the cake. I mean, it was like, I walked in and I remembered, like, to myself, I thought, like, you are not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Like, this shit is about to get real weird.
Now, was there a trapeze anywhere in the club?
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've got absolutely no clue, bro, because I'd
have been like, hey, your Roman orgy's pretty cool, but where's the fucking trapeze?
Where's the trapeze at, man? There had to be a trapeze in that joint. There had to be.
It had to be.
It was madness, man. So that was probably like overall the craziness of the game.
See, I missed out on
that's from partying and shit like that. Like, if you're talking like other stuff, I got stories, but
have you like ever put yourself in a position where you like, I should have went to prison?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want you to incriminate yourself on anything.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I don't know statute of limitations on some things.
Yeah.
So I'll say I've had
How about
some
insurance
really
fraud? How much is what's that about? Is it 20? If it's over 20, are we good?
5 years
We're
on
good,
anything
we're
fraud
good.
related.
Anything fraud related is 5 years?
Yeah.
There
I had
was
my car stolen when I was 17, bro, for some Mexican drug dealers. I got $5,000 on that.
Dude.
My Hyundai Scoop got lifted. I took everything out and told them everything was in it.
Hey, the Hyundai Scoop was the shit, bro.
I got $5,000. Bought a Honda Accord with that shit. Put some 17s on it.
And it lasted forever too, huh?
One time my truck got broke into on a drill weekend when I was in the Marine Corps Reserves. When we got back from our 2 weeks away, came back and fucking my shit was gone. Piece of shit stereo out of my little Nissan pickup truck. I immediately just started researching the most expensive stereo systems of all time. And I made like a $2,700 claim. I had and then I went out and I got a kicker box and all this shit to put in.
But would you get 10s or 12s?
Oh, I got 12s, bro. I got 12s.
You when I did it, I paid these dudes $200 to come get my car. I had to pretend all the next morning for my family that my car's been stolen, right? And I remember like a month later, I had a new car. Everything was fucking happy. Everybody got extra gifts that year. And I got a call from the cops that they found the car in Mexico in a fucking police chase.
Where was this at? This was in Diego?
Well, no, I went to high school in Yuma, Arizona.
Oh.
So that's very close. It's right on the border.
All I know is that there was a 310 to you. He froze again. Yeah, motherfucker.
I gotta go get me something to take shots with.
I don't understand why it's doing that. I have good internet here.
I'll get one more ice cube, please, babe.
The movie 310 to Yuma was loosely based on Shaun's life. But I don't know if you know that or not.
He's froze again. Motherfucker.
I'll be right back. By the way, 310 in Yuma, that's where we used to train there for the sheriff's department in the fucking out there. Yeah. And at the old jail, because it's called Yuma Territorial Prison. It's still there. Sweet. It's like a fucking tourist attraction. You go take pictures in the cells and shit. But they have a sand area out back. We used to run in it and shit for drills. I'll be right back. Shit. I'm gonna try to fix this.
Okay.
Hey Todd, can I answer a couple of questions over there?
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should.
Hey, Jason Benicki Critchlow. That's a complicated ass name. Matt, what was it like working with Chael?
Great question.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. I fucking love Chael. Chael's an incredible dude.
Yeah. He's smart as fuck.
Dude, all right, so that's exactly it. But he's not just smart when it comes down to the world. He's really intelligent when it comes down to fighting. So, like, his understanding of pressure situations is different than almost anybody I've ever met. And he is voluntarily, think about this, just for the fun of it. He has voluntarily put himself in the most high pressure situations imaginable. And whether he succeeded or not, he still went through with it.
Oh, Anderson Silva.
Fucking John Jones. Like any situation that there's ever, like when I was supposed to fight Fedor the first time and I had kidney stones, which you know how bad that was. Like, I mean, I was forthcoming about that. That shit was miserable. Chael was like, I'm down if the paycheck's right. So, like, it doesn't matter to him. Like,
You got to respect anybody who would take any fight, right? First of all. I
got
always
to.
felt like this about him. I always felt like he was an overachiever, which is weird to say for somebody who's at such a high level fucking wrestler. But dude, like it makes sense that you say he's so smart about fighting because he literally just never, the stand-up game just never caught on with him, right? Like he looked a little more crude in his stand-up than most people at his level, but he was still at that highest level. Like he just knew how to compensate, almost like a Randy Couture, where he could just pressure you and make up for not having footwork and timing and all that stuff. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yeah, in a way, yes.
Okay.
But let me say this. Randy Couture.
Mm-hmm.
I have never, I've grappled against Cyborg Abreu, Pablo Popovich, Braulio Estima, Buchecha. I have grappled against some of the best grapplers in the world and gotten my ass throttled, right? I've never been controlled like I was against Randy Couture.
He's my favorite fighter of all time.
I didn't know that it was real like that. And then against a wall, right? Like I was against a wall and Randy's working on takedowns. And I had never felt somebody have elbows and hands as tight as Randy. And I'm telling you, bro, you could not pummel inside of him. And so
there's just no space whatsoever at any time.
Dude,
I love it. I love it.
For those of you that don't know, I'm going to try to stand up and do what I'm doing here. All right. So
I'm back.
So Randy,
I'm going to catch Shaun up. He's describing a grappling session with fucking Randy Couture right now.
Okay. So this is pummeling, right? So say like I start, somebody's arms underneath here and their hand comes up to either my shoulder or to my neck. And then this one is underneath their arm, and I go up to their arm or their neck. So I'm in like a 50-50, right? You follow me?
Yeah.
So Randy, the way he does it, he pinches his elbows, and he only pummels here. So you can't get in on his body. I mean, when I say you can't, bro.
You can't.
You cannot get in on his body. And like he keeps him in so tight. It's like it's like practicing against a wall. Like you're just not gonna get inside.
Well, and that's just part of that. Like they do that subconsciously, unconsciously, almost. Like I'm sure he was wrestling since he could walk, and then he's at such like an Olympic high level, with Greco-Roman. Like he doesn't even think about that, right? I mean, it's just how he moves. It's just how he operates.
He tries to explain it. Yeah, Shaun blinked out again.
Just so you know, when that happens, I can still hear you guys 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
fucking video's having a problem.
Can we change Shaun's name to Glitch?
Let me try.
You know what?
Don't let
Next
him
time
punk
we
you,
do
Chef.
this, let's change his name to Amateur.
It could be too. Everybody, the big companies are throttling people's internet right now. Fucking selfish motherfuckers.
Joe Warner, you could not be more correct. I had that kidney stone, and it was so painful that they said I was retaining 7 quarts of water. 7 quarts of water.
That was just in your asshole. Like there was so much more in the rest of your
That
body.
was just my enema.
Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible.
I think my brother.
From what I understand, the fire department actually used one of their hoses in order to clean out your asshole.
It was like Strange Brew. When I finally let go, I just peed in it and put out an entire city. I put out the Chicago fire with my urinal.
I think my brother Mike Bandy's on here. It's got to be the same Mike Bandy. All right, Mike Bandy and I wrestled together. Bandy was our not our heavyweight, but what have they had then? The 205 pounder, I think.
Light heavyweight.
Yeah, he was a beast. But he's a big fan of you. He never jumps on my shit till you come on it, and then boom, there's Mike Bandy. Hey, welcome, Mike.
What's up, Mike? Hold on. Let me tell Jesse Pitts, the hardest person to take down is everybody, because I don't know how to take people down.
Do you think you could take me down?
I would take you down and
right.
Oh, hold on.
Dude, you couldn't take me down. Have you seen my sprawl?
Let's talk something
Dude,
about
have
real
some
quick.
respect.
Hold on.
Have
Let's
you
talk
seen
about
my
this.
double unders?
Hold on. Let's talk about this, baby. If we had a cage, right? How long do you two? I'm not bullshitting you. No punches, just standing up and without getting taken down. How long would you two last in a cage against me?
Currently,
Knowing
right
I'm
now?
not a takedown guy.
Currently, right now?
Currently right now.
I'd be way
seconds.
tired from just fucking pushing, throwing you to the side.
Dude, I couldn't take you down in 2 seconds. Chael couldn't take you down in 2
No,
seconds.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
But I would fucking I would wear out so fast. Now, if
Could
I
you
was able to
last a
train
minute?
for 3 months, I think I could keep you from taking me down for about 40 seconds.
Shaun, what do
Being
you
you're a
think?
professional.
He glitched. Hell yeah. Shots up, baby.
I think that if I was able to train and I had my wind, like if I was conditioned,
Yeah.
if I was conditioned, well, I think I could wear off a takedown. I could fight off a takedown for about 35, 40 seconds. Do you think
This
not?
is what it's like grappling me. I want you to know, Mitrione, that would be you, and then that's me. You're the guy.
Mike Bandy just chimed in. I'd say that motherfucker must feel good. You said it.
That's me.
Sweep the leg.
That's you trying. That's you trying to take me down right there.
It's a man against a boulder.
Is that you, Shaun? Shaun, is
I'm
that
the
you?
boulder.
Was that you
I'm the
pushing that
boulder.
boulder?
No, I'm the boulder.
Oh, I
You're
thought
the
I saw.
guy.
I thought I saw.
You're trying
one
to
eye-
move the boulder. That's Shaun. That's
I
what
thought
he's
I
saying.
saw one eye pointing forwards and one eye pointing sideways, so I thought it was you. Sorry.
He was sideways. You couldn't tell the angle. You fuck.
I will say this, Matt. I'm very good until I get tired of not allowing space, much like Randy Couture. Not quite to the level of Randy Couture, but my thing was never I was very tight with my jiu-jitsu in the
But
day.
so close. So close.
Very tight. That was my whole key. I was
You know,
tight.
let's do this, man. All right, so let's not bullshit here.
Okay.
Let's
Now that's without you trying to hit me or kick me. That's just literally just trying to wrestle me down.
okay. So look, one of my mentors, one of my you guys know he glitched again. All right, bro. One of my very good friends, Chris Lytle, is my mentor, right?
Correct.
Now, and you guys all know Chris.
Oh yeah, very well.
But there's another mentor I have that quite literally crushes me and abuses me in ways that I didn't think was possible. And his name is Josh Barnett, the War
I
Master.
know Josh Barnett. I mean, I don't know him. I know of him, obviously.
Right. So he glitched again. Come on, bro.
God
Come on,
damn
Todd.
Just know I can hear you guys, no matter what.
So
He's good. He can hear you.
he
He just likes taking shots.
Let's get a trip out to Fullerton, okay?
Okay. Fullerton,
And
California.
let's all three of us. Let's go ahead and train with Josh. Actually, Josh, I think is downtown at the UFC gym.
What you don't
I don't think he's
realize,
in
Matt,
Fullerton
is
anymore.
I have to go on a complete training regimen to even go have a training session with you.
No, you
guys.
don't.
No, you
Just
don't.
Come
That's
do
the
it.
point. That's exactly the point. No, you don't.
I have let
how about
myself
this?
go.
How about this? Shaun lives, first of all, Josh, I love you, bro, but you're too far away. So let's do this. Let's go to New York. Let's go to Manhattan to meet the chef, and let's go to Henzo's. And then Todd, you grapple with Jake
Okay.
Shields.
Oh, Jesus.
Chef,
You want me to
Chef-
grapple with Jake Shields?
yeah, Chef, you grapple with
It doesn't matter who.
Henzo,
Okay.
and I'll grapple with Gordon Ryan.
All right. Right now, if you had to just make a guess off the top of your head, what chance do I have of catching Jake Shields in my patented arm triangle?
Oh, the arm triangle.
Yeah.
I would say
Because he
probably
doesn't, he's probably never seen the distraction I use where I try to cover his mouth with my left hand. And then when he tries to move it, I suck in under that arm. Like he's probably never even seen that technique before, Jake Shields.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, probably 87%. So the first time Jake ever caught me in an arm triangle, dude, his downwards pressure on because most of the time you get caught in a triangle and they're here, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can still reach down and grab your leg and kind of work your way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
His pressure was here. So I couldn't do anything. And all I could do was just barely reach over and tap his deltoid before I fell asleep. I mean, it was like there was no escape from his triangle, dude. No chance.
I have a nice little story I like to tell, and I mean, it's not that riveting, but it's pretty fucking awesome for me personally.
Nice.
One of the, I don't know, I'd say one of the first few dozen times. So I would always see Mitrione. I was training with Light all the time, and then Mitrione would pop in sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. You know, he was like I was cool with everybody, but Mitrione would come in, he'd do his thing, and, he'd be cool and everything, but, you didn't really, he's like, yeah, fuck, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, fuck him, right? Mm-hmm. So finally we start saying hello, we start talking, and then next thing you know, a couple times start grappling. So me and Meat are rolling a couple times, and he gets me in a fucking, I forgot what you got me, and you had me in some kind of choke. And I remember my shit was tight, and the breathing was starting to really get hard, so I tapped out. And then Meat goes, "What the fuck is your problem?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Have you ever even gone to sleep, motherfucker? Don't tap out if you can't breathe yet." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Fuck out of here. What the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here. Have you even gone to sleep ever?" I'm like, "No." He's like, then you fucking go to sleep, you little bitch. What's your problem? And I was like,
I'm trying not to go to sleep. I don't know.
Now, Matt likes to, whenever he starts getting loud, he's the nicest guy you ever met. And then this happens, and you're a little bit vexed. You're being yelled at like a 6-year-old, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, there's nothing. What are you going to do? You take it to the chest, and you keep it moving, and then, well, next time I'll just go to sleep, bro. If I don't wake up, I don't wake up.
All right. well, hold on. Let me validate this from a comedian's perspective. Okay, first of all, the choke was barely in.
It felt good.
And as soon as it got set in, he tapped. And I was like, whoa. Hold on, bro. Like, that's just not right.
Niceness there.
That's not right.
I'm sure it's just like that.
Yeah. Come on, let me talk to you
if you're going to go through the grind, then you need to learn how to breathe through your ears. If you don't learn how to breathe through your ears, then you're always going to be a quitter, right? As soon as it gets hard, you're going to bail out. So you need to learn patience and seeing if you can work your way through it. And then if you can't work your way through it, know when to tap before you sleep off and they keep choking you.
So this was tough love, you're saying.
Yeah, it was definitely tough love, because right after he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry, man. Listen, you just can't fuck around. This is what it is here. Because I shouldn't even, to be honest, I was so blessed to even be in that room on a regular basis with these dudes.
Oh yeah.
But you got better. You got better really quickly. Like, genuinely speaking, you really did.
Well, I love the jiu-jitsu training so much. It was so hard. It was so tiring. You get beat up, your body hurts, but at least you're not getting socked in the face. You know what I mean?
Why don't you train at Henzo's, man?
I don't know. I just never. Dude,
I love that motherfucker, bro. Henzo is cool as fuck. He's a great dude, and he's got a hell of a school there, man.
I'm gonna have to, if we ever get a vaccination here, I'll definitely go, because I do, like, there's two things I miss in Indiana besides my buddies. I miss jiu-jitsu and I miss my motorcycle. Those are the two things I miss.
I miss rolling a lot, but that's like a whole nother, like, Matt, like, I'm just that kind of psycho where I have to be good at it. So I had to stop and I was doing gi jiu-jitsu, I get it, but like I had to stop because I was doing comedy and I couldn't stay in the shape I needed. So therefore I was like, dudes were getting me that shouldn't be getting me, that never got me before, just because I would fucking get tired.
You're not talking about grappling, you're talking about boxing?
No, grappling.
Jiu-jitsu.
But with the gi, that's how I took it. But
well, first of all, pajamas,
you got to be in really good shape. But either way, you got to be in good shape.
You're right about that. But what I will say is that's the beauty of the chess match that is grappling.
Mm-hmm. That's what I did love about it. That's what I loved about it the most when I was doing it.
It is the most active mental workout I've ever had. So, for example, I've been in sport a long time, right? I'm 41. I'll be 42 this year. Excuse me. I came to Purdue when I was 18 years old. I got in the NFL when I was 22. I was out when I was 27. And then when I started fighting when I was 29, right?
Yeah.
So I've been in the game for 12 years. And I can genuinely tell you that I've never had any experience like grappling as far as what makes me in shape quicker and makes me think faster than grappling.
Makes sense.
It's an incredible sport, man. And those people that watch MMA and boo the grappling aspect, you can tell have never understood the nuance of manipulation of position.
Yeah.
And it's not even a manipulation of position. It's a manipulation of the body to make you succumb or give up what this person in command desires. And that's why it's physical chess.
From a training standpoint, from just a guy that was just 38 years old and just got lucky because Chris Lytle came to his comedy show and invited him to start training. The one of the best, like the biggest perk of it outside of the physical part and the learning and the working with actual world-class athletes was when I watched MMA and they went to the ground, I was like, go put your left foot over, just knowing just being able to actually, these people who watch MMA and they all talk shit, they don't know what the ground game, it's like watching a live chess game, but you don't know what the pieces do.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. It's like when you actually know how to play chess and you know moves and you're 3 moves ahead and this thing, then watching chess is 10 times better as opposed to just like fucking looking at a horse and a queen and these little buddies. That's the difference, and that was my favorite part.
I love that, like the technician aspect, and I know it gets boring for a lot of people, but like to see a guy like force feed a leg triangle 3 or 4 times in a row because he can realize, this guy likes to drop that arm, and he only does it so the guy gives up his arm and he breaks it to an arm bar. Like that's such genius level shit that takes so much commitment and patience. Like that's.
So I have a friend of mine. I mentioned him before. Braulio Osima.
Mm-hmm.
So
now,
Braulio,
how long do you think he could defend my arm triangle?
Maybe 2 minutes.
All right.
Maybe.
All right.
So Braulio and I were grappling one day in West Palm, and he has a school up there off of Comatis. And I was gonna go drinking, and Braulio reached out, or I think I saw him on some social media. I was like, "Oh shit, what's up? Let's get some work," And he had just done some kind of a seminar or some shit, So I ended up going to this one gym I'd never been to before. And it's right above the bar I was going to go get fucked up at, actually. So I ended up going in there, and we ended up doing whatever. And the dude whose gym it was sitting there too. And I was like, listen, so we grappled, right? And we were doing whatever. And Braulio is so much better than what I am. I mean, he's so much better that he was just kind of being patient and cool.
Right.
And he lives in the UK, I believe, for the most part now. Well, I told him, I was like, look, stop being cool. Fucking come at me the way you really mean it. Like, I want to know real Braulio. So actually do the work. And dude, I'm telling you, man, he probably tapped me probably 10 different ways in 5 minutes.
Nice.
Like, and how about this? They were different setups. They were not the same submission. It was every different way I could even start to imagine. And it was like, it was ignorant, man. Like, there's such a level. I got tapped the first time I ever grappled with Cyborg Abreu, right? So Cyborg's like, he was the man before Gordon Ryan came around, right? Or Craig James. Craig James, I believe that's his name. Not a big jiu-jitsu guy, but Chris grappled him, and Craig James. Somebody's going to correct me here when they do it. I'll tell you when it comes up. But so,
can you hold that thought again? Because I want to address this guy's question real quick. Because I think I know the answer to this. Jesse Pitts, my boy, he's asking what is Lesnar's weakness, but I'm going to take that question and transform it a little bit. If you were to fight Brock Lesnar, both of you had equal time for camps, whatever.
Yeah.
Who wins that fight?
Me.
And why?
Because I come out throwing and kicking. I come out aggressive. Brock cannot handle an aggressive striker. As a matter of fact, against Kane, I have this on good source. Against Kane, he never once practiced missing his first double that he shot.
Oh, really?
Ever. So I don't know if you guys remember, when he was fighting Kane, he came out about 5 to 7 seconds in. He shot a blast double, and he missed. Kane sprawled over the top, pushed his head down, came back out, and then started throwing. Brock never once in his entire camp practiced missing that shot and recovering from it. He was so positive of it. But Brock's kryptonite is hands. And he cannot handle punches to the face. So what do you do to fight Brock? You throw uppercuts, straights, and hooks. But you have to lead with uppercuts because that makes him uncomfortable to change levels. So
you got that good lead uppercut too with your fucking hammer fist.
You're damn right. But the rear uppercut comes at a lower angle. So if the rear uppercut comes at a lower angle, that answers substantially more. But if anybody is a student of the game, they're going to say, why did you not do that against Ryan Bader? Because Ryan Bader is arguably the same dude as Brock Lesnar, just not nearly as big, right? So then the answer becomes as this, because I let myself fuck myself, because I was so worried about the wrestling that Bader could do that I stopped doing what I do best, which is what Bader does not handle well.
Yeah,
which is just throwing hands, baby. Just go be an athlete and throw fire.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, you never trained so hard for a fucking wrestling match ever in your life.
You're 100% correct.
Yeah,
100% correct.
So
he came in. What was he weighing at? What was he at? He was
Bader 220 something, almost 230.
Oh, okay. I thought he was more.
No,
he looks more. He's fucking. I mean, that dude's got to be cock strong to grab a hold.
Bader is very, very strong, and like I said, he's a very good friend of mine, and I really do appreciate him a lot. It's just he was so good at neutralizing what I did that strength was never a factor. It was just knowing that if I'm on my right side and I'm trying to get up, if you pick my right foot, shin, knee off the ground, I got nowhere to go. I can't stand up. If you can block my right knee from turning towards the cage, well, then you just stop my hip heist, so I can't go anywhere. It was like a simple lesson in physics that was worked to an Albert Einstein
level
potential.
Yeah,
it was like I didn't know what to do to stop getting beaten up.
What's one thing I don't think people like? That's one thing people underestimate. All you guys in MMA at the high level right now, a bunch of fucking smart ass dudes. There's no fucking dummies in there. It's not like boxing.
This is science.
Yeah, you guys are all smart, like educated dudes who take your shit very seriously. Like it's some serious high level thinking going on inside that cage and in your training. Like that's one thing I always thought like really set it apart from boxing. Like boxing to some level, there's some smart dudes in boxing, but there's also some dudes aren't that smart. It's just all on talent, right? And that's the difference between MMA and boxing, I think.
Well, I have a question. What, like, now looking back over this 12 years and all the, as many professional battles you've gone, what's the moment, like, if you wake up and someone says, what's your favorite moment? Like, what's the split-second moment? What's the moment? Like, what is your, whether it was a knockout, whether it was a submission, whatever it was, like, I don't know, you're a maniac, so maybe one of your favorite moments wasn't even one of those. Like, what was it?
Give me a minute to think about that.
All right, you can come back to it.
Anything from Congo?
Because I know that's, like, people ask me that when people say, what's your favorite moment in comedy? I'm like, well, fuck, man, there's 3 million shows. I have 1,000.
Can I say what mine
moments.
is?
Yeah,
my favorite moment from comedy? Fucking Brian Regan coming to Morty's comedy joint after his fucking show at the theater and fucking drinking with us until like fucking 7 a.m.
Pulled up in the tour bus.
Who's Brian Regan?
Brian Regan is Mr. Clean Comedy. He's like probably the highest grossing clean comedian in the game. Next to Seinfeld,
Jim Gaffigan
maybe?
in
Seinfeld. Yeah.
No, Regan's an absolute legend, theater comic only.
He is so good. So good. But he's clean,
theater
right?
Comic means straight stand-up.
No, theater comic means you're so fucking large. Your audience is so huge. You don't even fuck with comedy clubs. You only go to theaters. The only people in theaters are people who are selling minimum 1,000 tickets per city, and Regan is been a theater guy for
Yeah,
ages.
this dude lives in Vegas. He sells out fucking giant theaters everywhere he goes.
Explain to me clean comedy.
So he doesn't cuss, right? He runs a G level show, but it's still funny. Like that's why he makes so
Hilarious.
much money because he's still really good at it. But no swearing at all in his show. But then he comes to Morty's
So
afterwards.
subject matter.
Yes.
Yeah, clean subject matter doesn't use any cuss words. He
Like
didn't say
movies.
shit.
Like
Yeah.
PG-13 max type shit.
Right. But he comes to the Morty's afterward, and he fucking
Why
He
does he do
tour
that?
bus
he wanted
does he do that?
he loves to hang out with comedians
because he
man.
did the Marat. He did
Yeah.
the theater in Indy.
No, I'm saying why does he do whatever comedy that's called?
I think he explained on podcast this is how his brain works. He's like, when I write jokes, they're just not dirty. And he's like,
Yeah.
I cuss in my real life, but when I think of jokes, they just don't come dirty. So I'm like, well, stick with it. And you make more money if you're really good and you're clean.
Because
Right.
you can do everything.
Yeah.
You could do afternoon. You could have kids in there. Rudy Tooty, aim and shooty.
Right.
He has a joke about the walkie-talkie in the middle. This is to be one of the fucking greatest inventions ever. You call it the walkie and talkie. And then he's like, what do you call this? It's called the Rudy Tooty, aim and shooty. I mean, he just has this shit. He's so animated. You know that great fun fact about Brian Regan? He was the original Ace Ventura, turned it down.
Oh,
No
he would have
way.
been perfect for it.
Yeah, but he turned it down. Jim Carrey got the
Jesus.
part.
How much does he kick himself in the nuts for?
Gotta
No,
be.
I don't think he wanted it. He didn't want it.
You know,
I
he
mean, I'm
makes
thinking
plenty of
now,
money.
maybe. I mean,
Is
we
if
could
you
all
ever
say
look
it,
at the
but
list of people that turned down roles and the people that took them, and how much better the movie most probably would have been, because the other person took
Right.
it versus the original.
So Brian Regan has probably made more money in comedy than any other comedian who's never had a TV show or a movie, right? So he's just purely on stand-up has crushed it. Maybe Bill Burr has passed him recently, but Bill Burr's been doing TV and movies too. So
Yeah.
But so anyway, he's so clean, right? And he shows up at Morty's after because I guess he just loves like hanging out
That's
with
it.
comics. And his opener was a friend of ours, so he called and he's like, "Hey, he wants to come hang out. You know, can we maybe open up the bar upstairs after the show's over?" So we do. Dude, I'm telling you, Matt.
no, we
like,
were all
you're
there
a great-
already. We were
Yes.
there already.
You're a great drinker. Shaun's a great drinker. I'm a great drinker. This dude, I've never seen anybody drink so much fucking tequila in my life.
you
Not
know what
in
else?
Mexico, not seen somebody drink that much tequila.
And you know what I remember about that night is he didn't give a flying fuck that he was Brian Regan, the super comic, you know, with a 30-year unstoppable, body of work.
Yeah.
He looked at all of us in the eye and asked us what our deal was and what we got going on.
Exactly.
He said, "What do you got going on, man? You're a comic, right?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." And I said, "Yeah, I remember you, Tempe Improv 2001. When I first started, I was 23. I got a job as a waiter at the Improv in Arizona, and that's how I got introduced to stand-up. That's how I got into it. And you were coming in there, and you were fucking crushing, and I fell in love with your act that moment. I've been a fan since 2001. And then he goes, "Well, what do you got going now? What's going on? What are you doing here?" And he asked me, and he went down the line. Everybody was in a circle kind of around him.
And it was genuine too.
Yeah,
like
it
he
was.
really gave a fuck. Like he wanted to know what everybody was doing.
He didn't give a flying fuck that he's the top 10 famous comedians on the planet. He
It
was
would have
Brian
been-
Regan, just a guy asking other comedians what they're doing.
Exactly. It would have been as if Jake Shields rolled into Tim's fucking jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
fucking dojo in a laundromat, in wherever, Terre Haute, Indiana, and would have walked in there and be like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" And just started hanging out and like, "Hey, can I roll with you guys?" And just started giving a clinic. You know what I mean? Like it was that cool.
It's wild to me that, and I don't know why for some reason, but it's wild to me that there are other professions that have like the emulated position. Like to me, it's always like football. I have a very narrow paradigm of what is like considered famous or an ideogog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I see it, or you guys talk about something else that I'm totally ignorant on. I have no idea who this dude is. I don't even remember his name or whatever you guys are talking about now.
Right.
I'll send you some links.
Cool, sweet. But like, it always throws me off, and that's the biggest reason to me for humility is that nobody outside of our small niche knows who you are or gives a fuck about you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's so many other people that reach masses that have no clue who you are or what you do, or they don't give a fuck about you. And it's not up to you to make them care, but it's if you choose, it's up to you to make your story known.
Yeah.
And I admire that. I love that, but it always kind of catches me off guard at times too, because it's easy to feel like you're really important when people know details about your life that you've never expressed, or they looked up, or they found it on their own.
It is, dude. And and you see the opposite sometimes, like people that fucking, like in the comedy world, Bobcat Goldthwait. Fuck that dude. You know what I mean? He comes to Morty's comedy joint and he's like fucking an asshole to everybody. And it's like,
no
motherfucker,
way, really?
Shaun and I put more motherfuckers in seats than you do. And you're in here. You were in what? 4 episodes or 4
Police
fucking
Academy 4
yeah.
Citizens on Patrol was in 89, cuz.
Yeah, and you want to fucking
watched
walk
that.
around and
He
treat
was an
people
asshole,
like,
huh?
Yeah, treat people like they're pieces of shit. It's like, dude, you don't even fucking sell tickets in this motherfucker.
No
Which,
way.
which
Really?
by the way, anybody that does that, I as working as a comedian at a comedy club, working at so many comedy clubs, I treat every club like everybody is. I mean, I ain't shit, man. I'll bust tables right now. I'll get off from having my favorite set of all time, and I'll ready to fucking help clean the showroom for the second show.
Right.
That's how I feel. I just feel that.
Well, it's
way.
because they pay you $12 to do it, and you didn't make much on your set.
You're right. You're right. It was mostly free tickets. It was on a door deal. But that's how it is.
I have vowed I would, and I'm never going to be like to that level of fame, but like I would never fucking ever treat any human being like the way that Bobcat Goldthwait treated people. You know what I mean? I just like, if he wasn't such a small, like fucking powerless dude, I would have fucking slapped him. Like, but it would have done nobody any good. I couldn't brag about it later. They're like, oh, big deal. You beat up Bobcat Goldthwait. Who cares?
By the way, I didn't know how you say his last name correctly. I never said it right. I do say that I do like this comment by Michael Capelli. I feel like Matt would be a great motivational speaker. I feel the exact same way. I can never put my finger on it, but that's exactly what it is. You definitely are that guy.
He should, and I think he froze. So fuck, Matt.
Fuck you, Matt.
Dude.
Your weak ass internet, dude.
With your fucking weak ass internet. Get back in here. He's going to have to log back in.
Bro.
His lady's going to have to find the link. He's going to be lost for a good 5 minutes, I can tell you that.
Yeah, because he has a PC computer and he's got to fucking wander around the house looking for the charger.
On your fucking Hewlett Packard. Let's go.
Oh, man. At least
Dude, so what you been up to while we're catching up with him? What's fucking going on with you and the lady?
I filmed my lady today. I filmed an episode. I filmed a Labatt Blue episode.
Nice.
And I went with the crock pot fucking beer brisket. I just put a 3-pound brisket. I mean, I had a 4-some pound brisket from Whole Foods. I had to trim off some because it's not the big enough crock pot, but it fit in there. I threw some beer in there. I threw some chicken stock in there. I threw a can of tomato sauce in there. I threw some oregano, garlic, salt, paprika, some salt, pepper, and then a jalapeno, some chopped onions and garlic, and just let it fucking roll, man, all day in 8 hours. I'm
fucking so hungry right now, and you just ran through that.
Dude, I flipped it over, shredded it up with a couple of fucking forks, and we went to work. And I've been I've been housing, and I've got this whole house hooked on it. Now, my girl's daughter, she's a picky eater, so she won't I make her breakfast on a regular basis. I wake up, make a lot of breakfast here. I mean, that's like my thing. Like, we're more of a breakfast house than we are a dinner house. We always eat dinner. My girl's doesn't eat dinner with us that often. She'll make dinner. She'll pick some dinner, but she's more lunch and breakfast, not nearly as much of a dinner person.
Okay.
But I've been making huevos con papa all day, bro. I mean, my lady's hooked on it.
Y'all can't get me like that.
Now you in the bottom. You stay down low, bro. That's your weak ass internet.
Did you cut out just so you could change your fucking name?
Hey, bro. I'm a planner, bro. I'm a planner.
It says meat stick.
Meat stick. I made a little beer on the crock pot. I made a fucking 3 or 4 pound.
Listen, I got fucking rubber.
Today.
I got rubber bands and shit. I'm over here ready to fucking work, dog.
Hey, you know what? I've been working on my old. Remember my old invention, Todd? And please, guys, if you're listening, do not steal my shit. Have some respect. Remember when I invented the Invisible, Todd, in 2016 at Pat McAfee's backyard, and it was a fucking hit?
We used to have so much fun with the invisible. After
Matt, I don't know if you know this, but as a meat stick, there's a thing I invented. Please don't steal it because I know you have funds to possibly get patent. We would just sell a box. It would be a box that said it would just imagine like a box that sells like a volleyball or a beach or a dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen
those
boxes. They come in. Now imagine it, but it's nothing in it. It's just the box, and it says invisible.
Yeah.
So you walk in, with your box at the party. You got my invisible. Now what happens is people at parties and things, they love to throw a ball around. But the problem is that there's no athleticism, okay? People miss the ball goes down a hill.
Drinks get spilled, tables get knocked over.
Fucking the bowl of chips, the guacamole gets smashed. So with invisible, it's everything you want a ball to be except the ball. And you can throw it off of clouds and the wall, and you can throw it around the world if you want, and your friend. The thing is the invisible is as good as the people playing it.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this. Now, it sounds like I'm saying a corny-ass pitch for Shark Tank, but I'm going to say this. When we started, whenever everybody's drinking and you go, my man, I got this invisible. You ready?
The party gets lit.
People fucking played right into it, bro. I go, wham. And people were pretending to miss it, run down a hill to pick it up and launch it. We were throwing it off of 80-foot walls.
I think this would be the greatest episode of Shark Tank of all time if you fucking pitched this. Like, dude, we would have so much fun with the invisible because there's no limitations to how good or bad you are or what you can do with this fucking ball.
I
like
mean,
a real ball.
A
real ball, you have limitations.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, people don't really want to throw a ball. They just want to go through the motions, right? Like, listen,
Exactly.
You guys want to play right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be one of the worst fucking ideas I've ever heard in my entire life.
Until you've gone to a party and played it.
Until you've played invisible, and then you fucking.
Todd,
hey, listen, I've done a lot of drugs, and I really enjoy. I'll eat some shrooms right now. I'll break them out and eat the fuck out of them. But we got to be on the camera for 40 minutes for it to kick in. But I'm just saying that shit sounds like
Todd.
A terrible idea.
I'm going to throw this from New Jersey, Todd.
All right.
To fucking Indiana. You ready?
Yep.
He caught it. He made the catch. He made the catch.
You guys are fucking.
It's that simple,
see that
dude.
fucking catch?
Let me throw it back. I'm going to take it off these two walls all the way to New Jersey. You ready, bro?
Let me open the fucking slide glass door. Let me
off
open
the table, then both walls.
Open up Mom and Dad's window, Shaun. Okay. Open up Mom and Dad's window.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Nice. That was a good toss. I kind of hurt my arm on it.
I think it hit think it hit traffic. Oh my God!
Nice.
Look at that, dude.
You guys are fucking retarded.
Come on, me.
Can I say that? Can I still say that, or is that against?
I think if you're over the age of 40, you're allowed to.
Yeah.
That's why people over 80 can still drop N bombs. It's like that was how they used to say "dude" back then. They don't know any better. They don't know.
You want to take some questions?
Yeah, let's take some questions.
All right, guys, start firing some questions. I know we've been ignoring
There were some chicks that were firing off questions, and they were like, I'm the only girl on here. Y'all aren't the only chick on there, man.
Look at Mike Bandy. This guy said we're gay. That's nice.
Well,
this guy's not ready for our gayness. You know, of course, it's a Facebook guy. Come on, Facebook guy. All the other Facebook guys, dope. This
Ryan
guy
Harris, what a snag, Todd. Thanks, buddy.
I kicked Carrot Town off in his nuts.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, my guy Steve fucking from Rhode Island showed up, man. He's on his way out right now. He's going.
Shelby Brown. That's a motherfucking Indiana girl.
Oh, yeah, Shelby used to come to shows.
Awesome. She's coming to shows all the time.
Yeah, she's a blast.
Shelby's no
She's
punk,
married
man.
with a family now. Congratulations. She has a beautiful family now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's the shit.
Steve, though, that's my guy Steve from Rhode Island. He's an absolute psycho, and I love him. He said, dude, Steve from Rhode Island meat is a fisherman up in Rhode Island. I'm going to do an episode there as soon as we can all hang out again.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll send me crabs, scallops. I'm using them on episodes, and I don't mean like little crabs.
Hold on. Well, let's talk about something. I want to know about a fisherman for scallops.
Yeah. That's what he does all day.
Tell me about that.
All right.
I think.
Will you guys talk about that real quick? I'm going to go piss and grab my moonshine. Hang on.
Yeah. I need to know about that. I need to know about a fisherman for scallops.
What do you want to know? I'll ask him.
Go ask him, motherfucker. He's on there listening. Who was his name?
His name's.
Hey, motherfucker, you froze again in the middle of an explanation. Cheers up, you dirty motherfuckers. Let's go.
I don't
You whoever that fisherman guy was, I wouldn't listen to your name to be totally honest with you.
Steve
How do
Grover.
Steve, how do you fish for scallops on their bottom feeders?
Nets and shit. He's a net guy.
Well, lobsters are bottom feeders too, right?
Well, all I know is that he'll send me 5 pounds of scallops. I got 2 pounds in the freezer right now. I'm
What's that? You froze again, you dirty motherfucker, man. Hey, Jack Frost, you're motherfucking right. I got the best fucking internet around in this joint. Hey, I think instead of us having a drink every time he freezes, I think it's up to just chef to have to drink every time. Fucking nerd. Hey everybody, do me a favor, all right? Tell me a number from 1 to 276. Come on, give it. Come on, give it.
Anybody?
Fucking the chef died out.
Am I in
again,
this? 1 to
motherfucker.
276?
Yeah, 1
Right now on number?
276.
131.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you.
in.
You were not close at all.
Not.
I'm in.
You were not. Was that the moonshine?
This is the moonshine.
Hey man,
boys.
hey,
Whoa,
look, let's talk about
moonshine.
something. Hey, listen. I know that you guys are all really big fans. Ooh, CK still on that shit? Hey, you guys are all guessing way too low. It's fucking high, man.
What's high? What are we guessing? What's the number here? What's
Don't
it
worry,
all about?
you blacked out, motherfucker. Don't worry about it. We'll tell you when you come sober again. Todd,
Yeah.
let's do a show
Okay.
from every SEC campus next season.
Okay.
I don't want to do Big Tens because I've already been to Big Tens.
All right.
So next football season, except for when I'm fighting, you two assholes can go. Shaun froze again. Man, I hate that motherfucker.
It's just a bad internet day in New Jersey, bro. He can hear you, though. He can hear you.
No, my router has coronavirus.
Again?
It's a respiratory thing in the router.
So
Dude.
we could do shows wherever you want, bro.
Let's do it, man. Let's go for no reason and just do some shit. But I want you guys, the last game of the season at Purdue, home game, I want you
Yeah.
guys to be at a Purdue home game for a tailgate.
Oh, yeah.
And I want us to do a show.
Okay. We could set
All
it
in.
up at that place there.
Chef, what is your contract with Barstool?
He can
As
just
far as
stand
what?
up wherever.
No, stand up. My agreement with Dave was when I had a talk with him when I signed on with New York. Anything under 1,000 people, it's all me. Anything
There
over
we
that's
go.
with Barstool. And I'm like, well, that's not a big problem.
Yeah, that's 1,000
Because
people is a lot of fucking people.
if I can get 300, your boy's fucking pumped. Okay. And if I can do a full week, and that's per show. Dave knows I've been a comedian since 01. He's the coolest shit. The reason I can't do shit with Pat and the Heartland team is because of the sales guy and the Bubbly Gang, which was a famous fallout Dave had with his sales guy Lou. And when Lou got fired from Barstool, he got hired on with Pat. So that's the conflict, and that's why I'm not allowed to work. And that's why it's an conflict of interest with working with Pat.
So what you're saying is that there is an incestuous relationship between Barstool and Pat.
No, there's the only issue. Pat still buddies with Dave and all that. The
Yeah, they're all still boys.
Yeah, the problem was that when Lou got let go from Barstool, he was their salesman. When he got fired, he got hired with Pat, and that was a problem for Dave. So that was it. I mean, there's no like bad blood or anything like that. It's just that it was just that one thing. So now Todd is on his own. So me and Todd do our own. We could do all we want together. I even let Dave know. I'm like, just so you're aware, like Todd's on his own now.
I'm in the middle
I'm
of
not,
nothing anymore.
Yeah, I'm not violating anything.
Contract
wise, I'm
right,
just
so-
working with my buddy he's a freelance kid himself now.
Yeah. Now, my sales guy is Roy Nelson. So I don't know if you're going to have a problem with that, Mitrione, but me and Nelson are tight, brother.
He's got a hell of a lot more followers than I do on social media, so it might help you out. I tell you what, man. At times,
Oh, I like it.
Wait, what
At
do you want to do with
times-
this show, Matt? What do you want to do with the show?
Yeah,
I'm
we
really
we
interested in
should put
this.
together a show. We should go around. Here's the thing, Matt, about you that makes you special. The people probably already know, but those that don't are going to learn. Is you are one of the smarter friends that I have. Like fucking, I think that's why Shaun and I always like you and Lido. First of all, were just so nice to us
Yo,
for no reason.
Chris is smart as fuck.
And you guys are so smart, and you have your own shit going on. And you guys are funny. Like, you're a funny dude. So there's so much, even more. Yes, you both are. It's an incredible honor to know two people that could beat up 99.7% of the planet. But also outside of that, you guys are smart, funny dudes, and you like you in particular, you could do whatever you wanted on a microphone. I think.
First of all, I'm flattered. Thank you, genuinely. It's a strange world at times, right? Because the crowd that cannot wait to get offended waits for every moment out of your lips.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not good at being that dude who well, actually let me restate this. I'm really good at not giving a fuck at what you think.
Right.
But the problem is, if I want to sell my perspective to you, either I need to have some advertisers that got giant fucking balls, or I need to modify my perspective.
I think they're out there though. Here's my thing, and tell me if you know more about this than I do, Shaun. You were in the real like pro game more than I am. But the PC culture, it seems to me, they exist and they have their power. But also those motherfuckers don't consume. So they don't stop people who aren't about what they're about from consuming. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they don't. They just address whatever happens.
yeah,
And they try to help create the hype of hate or being pissed off. Yeah, but they're not consuming, and they're not.
None of those people were going to be on your
market
shit.
for the advertiser.
Yeah, none of those people were going to be buying your shit anyway, and they don't buy anybody's shit. They just get on there to exploit their opinion. That's it. They just I want to bitch about what you're doing, but I was never going to can buy anybody's shit anyway.
But that's to me is exactly the issue, right? Like I struggle, right, at times because Todd, I alluded to this before when we were talking. So, Chef, let me tell you this for the first time. I was talking to a good, not a good friend. I was talking to a dude I know that was a coach when I was in college. And he asked me, I personally reached out to him because I had a family situation in which this dude had a direct input in, and I wanted to know his perspective on the situation.
By the way, when you lagged out, what you're tapping into, somebody brought up on their own here. So just so you should know.
What are you talking about?
What I think you're going to get to, this person said you should also be doing that.
Really?
Just continue with your story. If it doesn't, I'll connect it afterward.
Okay. So my former coach was like, hey, what are you going to do when you get done? When you get done playing ball? When you get done fighting? What are you going to do? When you retire, what's your life? And I was like, man, I'm probably just going to bail out. I'm going to go, I'm going to have my normal life. I'm going to chill. I'm going to do this and that. And dude, this dude says to me, and normally as a sign of respect, I'd say this motherfucker, but he's a coach. So my coach says to me, that's about the most selfish fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And I was flabbergasted. I was literally like slack-jawed. I didn't understand how to handle that. And I was like, well, huh? Like, what do you mean? He's like, how the fuck can you take everybody else's time your entire life and coach you So you are a better human being, a better person, a better student of the game. And then once you had enough, you just take your ball and retire. You go back to home. And that really fucked me up because I never saw it from that perspective. I never saw it as everybody else invested in me. They put their time and effort. I saw it as a job, not as a choice. And his position was, it doesn't fucking matter if I got paid or if I didn't. I would have invested in you because I believed in you. So now as a position he presented to me was, how fucking dare you take the mental gymnastics that you've been put through and retire because you simply say, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. And that, like I said,
And what did he tell you to do?
I didn't know how to handle that. So I was quiet for 20 seconds. And on a phone call,
That's pretty large.
That's
Yeah.
a long ass time.
I mean, that's coming at you. Yeah.
And I was like, I honestly, I don't even know how to respond. And his answer was this. He's like, a man like you who's had every single hurdle in his life that has been self-caused or self-imposed, and then now you want to have the balls to say, no, you're done, when everybody else runs into the problems you've had, right? Whether it's drinking or partying or doing drugs or being too stubborn to take help or whatever the fuck the situation is, you have the balls to say, thank you for helping me through it, but I've gotten through it and I'm successful, but I'm done now. Now I'm going to go shut it down. And that beautiful motherfucker shut me down. And I was fucking flabbergasted. I didn't know how to handle it. And then I thought about it and I was like, man, I've got no answer for that. Shaun, are you frozen?
No, bro. I'm just fucking.
We're hanging on the edge.
The idea of this is beautiful because as another person that's been in public eye and gotten so much help along the way, some days I'll read comments and it's like 9 people telling me I'm a fucking piece of shit. And I'm like, I don't really need this, bro. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just trying to have a good time and spread joy. Like, what if one day I just wanted to just fucking be normal?
Right.
Bro.
So I think about what you're saying, and I'm like, and what this coach told you, and I'm like, holy balls.
He fucked me up, bro, to the point where I was flabbergasted. I didn't know how to handle it. Like, just, like, really? Like,
what did he tell you? What did he tell you? Like, well, what do you do when you're done fighting? Like, what?
So coach says to me, he's like, yo, in my opinion, you become a motivational speaker. And I was like, huh? I was like, I don't understand what you're talking about. And he goes, look, there's not many people that I've ever met that have failed their way to success harder than you.
That's fucking nice, dude.
That's a great way to put it.
In a awesome way.
And I was like, I guess I've never understood something like that. And his answer was so basic, and it hit me in a way that I didn't understand. And he told me, he's like, listen, he's like, every single human being on the planet is a victim of getting in their own way. He's like, whether they're afraid of success or afraid of or failure, they interfere with their own ambitions because it is the position that they don't want to have.
Yeah.
And then when I heard it, I was like it was like a moment in which I had to question most decisions I've made in my life. Now, what's interesting is that when I was a student at Purdue, for me to get accepted at Purdue, I had to go into the special ed program because my GPA was so low when they first got it. They were like, this has to be a fucking joke. There's no way we'll let a person like this into Purdue. As a matter of fact, I do believe this is a quote via email. This has to be the lowest GPA we've ever considered for acceptance.
All right, so that's interesting because, like I said, you're a very smart dude. So you just fucked off in high school.
I fucked off.
You're like, I'm a stud athlete. I'm like,
I got it. But
Yeah.
But that's not the point, though. It's not the point that I fucked off. It's the fact that I was in a system that allowed me to fuck off,
Sure.
and I capitalized on it.
yeah.
And so, as a result, I caused myself these self-imposed hurdles, right? It's not because I was allowed to fuck off. It's because I allowed myself to fuck off.
Sure.
Right? Like it's in every which way I handled it that I didn't know how to handle it.
This is
So-
like the running back for Ohio State.
Maurice Claret.
Maurice Claret.
So Maurice Claret. All right. So let's take you, for instance, and compare it to Maurice Claret. Maurice Claret champions right now, like educational institutions should not be allowed to treat people this way. They take people that are very gifted at sports, who dominate in sports, and they're like, we don't give a fuck what they do in the classroom. They're good for a school. They get to graduate no matter what in high school. And then without realizing what it might do to this person if they can't continue a sports career. But beside that, you were one of those people like Maurice was, like, well, if you're going to give me that opening, I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to jump through that fucking door. And then you're trying to go to a higher institution like Purdue, which is not an easy school to walk into.
It's a research one. Yeah,
Right.
not an easy university.
So now what battle are you going through at this time?
Okay, so let me argue with you in this position. Okay. So I firmly disagree. And the reason I firmly disagree is that most people do not recognize their talent until it is pressed. So if you say, like, from what I understand that you just explained for Maurice Claret, if Maurice Claret had his position fulfilled, which I am not familiar with, but from what I just heard, that means that anybody who was in my situation that may have the intellectual capability or capacity but never fulfilled it would not get that option of succeeding because of said performance of their previous history.
Yeah, he's saying basically you and he could still graduate where I could not have, because we do want this guy who maybe could go on to play division,
Go fuck yourself.
junior college baseball.
No.
Like nobody cares
Go
about
fuck
it.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Junior college wiffle ball.
Right.
Let me tell you something. There is so much help to every collegiate athlete that you will succeed if you genuinely try.
Okay.
Not succeed. If you try, there is so much help you will succeed. And I know that from a firsthand experience.
Sure.
But what I will tell you is this, is that there are situations in which people should not be there. Maybe they don't have the intellectual capacity. Maybe they don't have the emotional capacity.
Sure.
And beyond emotion or intellectual capacity, beyond emotional,
emotional capacity. You're right. Yeah.
beyond intellectual capacity,
Bandwidth capacity.
bandwidth is legit. And the reason why bandwidth or emotional capacity is valid is because some people, like, for example, they come from Florida or come from Texas or come from New York or come from California. They can't handle the adjustment. It's too substantial for them and
Sure.
they can't do it. And that's an emotional capacity. It's an emotional bandwidth. They can't say saying that.
And that's like part, especially when you go, all right, so like Maurice went to Ohio State, Big Ten school, you went to Purdue. Like, I think, like you said, as long as you show up and do what they ask you to do, they'll get you through it, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to like really like, hey, let's fucking go to school here a little bit and let's fucking help you. So in case you blow your knee and you got to go do something else for a living, like nobody was offering that, right?
Todd, no, fuck no.
Yeah.
Todd, did I ever tell you the story? I was on an announcement earlier today, or what do you call it, like a podcast or some shit, some radio show.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you about this story. So, did I ever tell you the story about 1999?
No.
When Purdue played Michigan at the Big House.
Okay.
Did I ever tell you about this?
No.
All right. So you guys can get this. I've told it before on a couple different situations. Apparently not to y'all.
Never on Todd McComas YouTube channel.
No,
Okay,
sir.
you guys ready for this shit?
I'm fucking ready. I just poured a fresh cocktail.
I got the moonshine.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, so let me talk to the fans or the people that are writing in. Hey,
Real quick, he's talking to you, Jack Frost. He's talking to you, Billy Snyder. He's talking to you, Jason Wheatley, Eric Adrinden, Jesse Pitts, Israr, Mike Bandy, my brother, Robert Meal, Jason Wheatley again, and Edwin James. He's talking to you guys.
All of them.
all you dirty motherfuckers.
All you
if
dirty
you guys want to pull up anything on the internet and real time fact check this shit, do it, motherfuckers.
Do
All
it.
right, so here's what I got for you. Right.
Okay.
So we're at University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm. This is a big game, by the way. You
Big
guys,
game, in the big house. 1999. We're playing against Tom Brady and Anthony Thomas.
fuck.
A-Train. Anthony Thomas was the fucking man. He was like a Heisman guy. He was a fucking stud. It was a rainy, dreary day. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, as anybody knows, as an offensive player, rainy, dreary days are pretty much the worst day you can have, right?
Yeah, you
Because
don't
the
want
Always
ball
bet the
becomes
under on a rainy day.
It's no longer tackified. It's a bad day. So I'm having a good game that day. 1999, we lost
You're a
30.
defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lost 38-12 or some shit like that, right? So it's in like the first or second quarter. I can't remember what it is. And Drew Brees is our quarterback. Tom Brady is Michigan's.
By the way, for people that don't know, Drew Brees went on to have a pretty successful career. So did Tom Brady as well.
He did. Neither one of them sucked.
Right.
Right.
Just
So-
in case.
Respect for the Red
Some
Sox.
of the people that are on my YouTube might not know that.
So until today, I did not know that was against Tom Brady, by the way. And I didn't know what year it was. I thought it was like 97 or 2000.
Right.
So anyway, so I find out 1999, Tom Brady, Drew Brees.
Jesus Christ.
I
This is an
get-
epic matchup.
I break through the offensive line. I hit Anthony Thomas in the backfield. I cause a fumble, right?
Nice.
Boom, the ball's on the ground. Fumble! The ball's on the ground. So by the time I jump on the ball, Michigan's old lineman, I can't remember who it was right now for the life of me, might have been
Adama Sue.
he's the
That's the only offensive lineman I know.
Todd Hutchinson.
Okay.
Might have been
Okay, I
number
heard of that
76.
guy. Plays for the
Whoever-
Rams.
I
made
might
that
have been him. Maybe I remembered it wrong. Anyways, so he dives on the ball. His back is to me. So I jump on his back, but he's already got the ball covered up. Okay. Hutchinson, I think, was a guard. Steve Hutchinson, I think he was a guard.
Okay.
So I jump on his back. My teammate, Aiken Ayadel, who played forever in the NFL, jumps on his front side. And those two are fighting for the ball. But Steve Hutchinson recovers the fumble 100%. Is down, no questions asked.
Fucker.
We're in the bottom of the pile, me, Hutchinson, Aiken. So it's like an Oreo sandwich, right?
Right.
And we're fighting over it. Oh, that's fucking
Nice work.
So we're fighting over that shit, and I'm on the backside, so there's nothing I can do about it, right?
Right.
I know I can't get in, reach over Hutchinson's body. He's a fat fucking old lineman. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, there ain't no doing it.
He's actually a fucking abnormally great athlete. He was a first round pick. Anyways, so Aiken and him were fighting over it, and I can hear Hutchinson yelling because I know Aiken's voice. I got it. And I'm like, oh shit, we're not going to get this fumble Hutchinson's got it. So I reach back and I stuff 2 fingers straight in his asshole. And he like freaks out. And he like squeezes his butt cheek and his whole body tenses up. And he lets go of the football, right? And Aiken gets it. And the Aiken's like, I got it. And then the refs separate it. And we fucking get the fumble. And we're like, oh shit. Yeah, motherfucker, yeah. So we're fucking hype as shit. And we're like slapping each other. And Aiken, we're running across the field. And Aiken gives me the football. He's like, you dirty motherfucker. I know what you did. And I was like, ah. And I'm running to the sidelines, right? And my coach, Gary Emanuel, right? This motherfucker, bro. Yo, look at this shit. He goes like this. He's standing like this, right? And I'm running over to him. And he has his arms crossed like this. And he's like, and I'm close enough. And I'm like, what the fuck, coach? We just got a fumble. What are you so salty about? And he doesn't say shit. He goes like this. And points to the Jumbotron. And those motherfuckers were doing a slow motion zoom in.
Of you and the fingers?
My fingers straight into his asshole. Like, it just happened to be like the perfect angle, like the Moses in the Red Sea. That shit split wide open. I took the fingers and stuffed them in his ass.
Hit him with the shocker, dude. Oh,
that's fucking hilarious.
What a game. What a story. That's like, I mean, you're a motivational speaker and this is all over. That's all there is to it.
You could have heard that dude lose his shit. Like, he screamed so bad. And like, it was like the highlight of my life.
That's the
wow,
best.
I love that story.
Dude, you're in a fucking scrum and you reach in. That's just like the guy that's willing to fucking put a finger in an eyeball. Like, that guy's gonna win every time. You know what I mean? Like,
win, bro, I'm gonna win.
You can't defend against that. That's a fucking great story, dude.
Hey, this dude named Adam Roberts just brought Penn State versus Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
So let me tell you this, man. So LeVar Arrington was a fucking goon of an athlete, right?
Goon.
So check this shit out, bro.
Penn's, oh man, if I remember him in defense, if I remember a defensive guy's name in college, he was a fucking beast.
Yeah,
dude. Wait till you hear this conversation, then you'll catch yourself and you'll be like, can't handle it. So LeVar Arrington was the man, right? He was number 11, right?
Hey, in your era, by the way, in your era of college football, how big were steroids?
I have absolutely no idea. No clue.
Because you weren't, I know you weren't into them, but that was kind of after that, right? You were in the kind of the era after that was huge.
I don't know.
Like Marinovich and all those guys, they were before you.
Oh, Marinovich, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
but
so, I was just curious.
There was we did a bunch of ecstasy and fun drugs. Like we didn't do steroids.
Because I think you were like right after the big crackdown, actually.
Maybe. I don't know much about that. Right. But I know that we did ecstasy a lot. A lot.
It was good shit, bro. Hey, how about you know what I love about throwing up on ecstasy? Because when you throw up when you drink, you're like half out of it. But when you throw up on ecstasy, you're just like watching it come out of your mouth. Oh, look at this, is crazy. And then it's fucking
Matt, would you do DMT?
I think I'm doing it this week.
Are you really?
Yeah. Anyway, so we're kicking a field goal, right? So whatever year this is at Purdue, 97 to 01, some shit like that. Courtney Brown, LeVar Arrington, they're on the field. We're kicking a field goal. I honestly don't remember if we were close or not. They might have been fucking crushing us. I've got no clue. As a matter of fact, I think they did. I think they beat us by
I think those
30.
were good years for Penn State. So,
I think they beat us by like 30 points. I think they crushed us. So anyways, we kick a field goal, and it got blocked. And there was a shot. Hey, chef's out. Fucking amateur hours out.
No, I'm not.
He's back. He just blinked.
If my Wi-Fi goes out, for whatever reason, it's video. I can still hear audio nonstop.
I remember asking that explanation.
I'm giving it to you, motherfucker. I'm gonna choke you out one day. It's gonna happen.
Give him the arm triangle. He's susceptible.
I'm gonna catch him slipping, bro.
For real. So anyways, we got a field goal blocked. So the next day we go in on Sunday and we're watching film, right? And the coach doesn't say a fucking word. He brings us all into the room and he says, look, I don't want to hear a fucking peep. Just watch. He puts on the video that the field goal got blocked on. LeVar Arrington is behind the line of scrimmage. And he runs up like everybody does with a field goal, and he jumps vertically, straight up, right? And he's probably knees to butthole of the D lineman. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he probably has a legitimate, with pads on and everything else, probably legit 35, 36 inch vert.
Right.
Right next to him, Courtney Brown, and I believe that LeVar Arrington blocked it with his chest.
Holy shit.
Next to him, Courtney Brown had jumped so fucking high that his feet were above the D linemen's backs. And he had overjumped LeVar Arrington by a minimum of probably 10 inches.
Wow.
And it was so high that all of us sat there in the room and were like, what? Like, couldn't fucking believe it. It was so much that coaches had no coaching points against it at all. They were like, listen, kids, you will never see this again in your life. So enjoy the moment. There is nothing like this you'll ever see again.
Dude, that's
I'm
incredible.
I'm going to talk to you after this. I'm going to try to YouTube and figure this shit out because I want to see this so bad.
I mean, in pads, like he's jumping 4 foot in the fucking air, over 4 feet in the air. Like
Dude,
that's,
I'm telling you, dude. I will find a picture because there was like a video still of it, and it's like here and there. I mean, it's
incredible.
Like, and remember, Courtney Brown was the first pick overall, and he only lasted like 4.5 years.
Yeah,
right. Now, I'm telling you, that fucking goon could do whatever he wanted to do.
Wow.
Hey,
Anything.
Jason Wheatley said it was Tier the coach.
Tiller.
Joe
Yep. Tiller.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the L in there.
Adam Roberts. True story. I was in that end zone.
Oh,
You're
Adam
fucking
Roberts, dude, verifying. We had confirmation. I mean, I believed you because he was a fucking incredible athlete.
Oh, look at that. That's fucking awesome. This is great.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it was like when we saw it on film, it was just stupefying. Like,
I love hearing these
what?
things. It just makes me realize how much of a piece of shit I am compared to like.
Me too, dude.
I mean, I'm just
like,
a fucking minion, bro,
what the
trying to cook a
fuck?
meal and make a people kind of chuckle. You know, I made some slow cooked brisket. I hope people think it's funny.
Sean, I bought a brisket the other day at the grocery store at the
How many pounds?
At the Kroger.
How many pounds? Kroger ain't got more than 5-pound brisket.
25-pound brisket.
Shut the fuck up. There's no way.
25 pound?
No, you
25-pound
didn't.
brisket.
I want to see a picture. I don't believe that.
It was. They said either $2.50 a pound.
Yeah, it was
And
$2.50
was-
a pound, motherfucker. It was not.
It was
You didn't buy
$2.50
a
a pound,
25-pound brisket.
and it was $48.
No, you did not buy a fucking 25-pound brisket.
So it was
for
an
$48.
18-pound brisket.
All right,
18 pound
18.
Whole Foods is going $10 a pound for brisket.
I don't shop at Whole Foods, bitch.
Hey, do you guys want to hear something crazy?
What?
So my dude Steve Blackburn's on here. We went to high school together. He was a freshman when I was a senior. Do you want to know in 1989 who won the state of Indiana's bench press competition?
Who?
Wait.
Any guesses?
Not
In
you,
nine-
Todd.
This is in 1989.
Not Todd.
Well, I would say there were several weight classes, so you can't just say one person won. But in the weight class that I was in, do you want to know who won for the state of Indiana?
Please tell us.
Tell me.
Todd McComas.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude.
How much? How much?
I was in the 140-pound weight class, and I only weighed like 137 pounds then, and I only had to do 220 to win the whole fucking state.
Well,
That was
a
it.
damn lot,
I could
bro.
do like 270 then. Like, And my boy Steve, Kyle was in my grade, his
You
older
were
brother.
140 putting up 270?
Dude, I could put it up back in the day when I was in high school.
Limbs,
You
man.
fucking hillbilly, Indiana hillbillies. Or
I was
something
just
else.
hillbilly strong.
know-
And I only did chest workouts. I did no legs whatsoever.
Todd,
Only
what's
chest
how
workouts.
much? What's the most you've ever lifted off the ground?
345 bench press one time.
Wow.
Yeah. I was on some serious fucking illegal shit though. I will say that.
What was your best natty? How old are you when you bench 345?
I was probably 33 years old.
Christ.
32?
You take tests now?
Yeah, well, I'm on testosterone now, so it's like
How do you
legal
feel?
for
Do
me.
you feel great?
I feel great. I'm like 2 weeks behind. I got to go catch up, but I feel great. Like I don't even work out anymore, but I've just always been a dude. If I lift weights, I get strong quick. I just always been that way. Even when I was skinny and in high school,
It's science.
like I don't know. It just worked out for me. But
I think Todd doesn't
upper
need
body
him.
wise.
Todd's fucking look at him. Todd's got a fucking that big man chest and shit. Like he's got that thick neck. Like Chef, you amateur hour, you got a little baby neck, but fucking Todd's got some shit on him, man.
Yeah, but at least I knocked somebody out one time, man.
Sean hits hard, dude. You fucking sparred with
I got
the dude.
Mexican
Me?
inner strength. It's called Mexican inner strength.
That's so much true. Hey, how hard do fucking Mexicans go, dude? Mexicans hit
Listen,
hard.
I
They
will
take
fight
it
you
hard.
till I die. If as long as it ain't like Matt Mitrione in a afternoon, 9:00 Thursday morning, just if it's like 100,000 people watching, I'm gonna fight till I die.
Well, you have to. I fought as far as I remember.
By the way, I'm gonna fight again. I have no choice. I want to fight again.
He has to fight one more time. You can't
wanna
end on an even number of fights.
Yeah,
I fought one Mexican named Joey Beltran,
Okay.
Oh, he's legit.
and I could not knock that motherfucker out, bro.
Mexicans
could
don't
not.
fuck around, bro.
He was tough as fuck.
Listen, when
he's a
she-
great dude. He's a friend of mine. Great dude. But I could not knock that dude out.
When I got knocked down, it was because of balance. If you look at the fucking clip, my feet are I'm standing like this, which is anti-fight. The last thing you want to do is be in a boxing ring with your feet next to each other, right? You got to be here. I'm here like a fucking Momo. You hit me, I'm going down. I went down. I wasn't unconscious.
It's
I was
so
just,
easy to
I
go
was
down.
a fuck. You know what? On another thing here, I'm going to talk about Mitrione on this. When I lost that split decision when they didn't count my knockdown because I fucking knocked them down, they didn't count it. Whatever. I'm a little bit bitter, but whatever. But when I lost that fight, and I trained so hard for 2 months strong. I lost like 25 pounds.
You did train hard.
You did a hell of a job training for that.
I was there 8 a.m. If I was 1 minute late, I remember I was late one time in those 2 months, and Pat let me up like a fucking Christmas tree, bro.
Coach Pat.
Pat McAfee. He fucking lit, because you know why? Pat was there with me every day for
He
training.
didn't have he needed Coach Pat. But
No, I did it. He brought that football discipline.
yeah. But he's
McAfee?
talking Coach Pat like boxer Coach Pat.
No, I'm talking like Pat McAfee.
Right.
You know what? Because if you're on time, you're late. And that's why
Yeah.
Pat McAfee made a difference.
Yes, and he trained with me every day. It was me, him, and Damien every day working out. We had to be at work normally 9 a.m. because radio was at 10 a.m. We got there at 8 a.m. Pat was letting me shower in his fucking office, which he normally would never let anybody fucking do that. And I was late one time, and he fucking lit me up. I was working hard. I was barely drinking. I was eating right. I dropped a ton I got down to like 210. And what was the point of this?
I don't know. I feel like you're trying to find sympathy for something that was your fault.
No, I just fucked up.
No, this is what happened. So you got in phenomenal shape or whatever. Now here's the only. Here's the only.
It was a Mitrione story.
Yeah.
God damn it, dude.
Well, I was gonna say the only thing what sucked was.
I like drugs.
I got
too.
it.
That's
I remember.
Okay, go ahead.
So I lose the fight, right? The good thing was everybody thought I won. I got on College Game Day. Someone put up Chef won on College Game Day. That was fucking what a brilliant moment in my life. You know, I'm just a little bitch ass hoe. Someone said I won on College Game Day. I'm all sad. at the time I was hanging out with this chick, and I'm at her house, and we had these plans to do something, and I'd lose. And I was supposed to win 10,000. I only won like 2, because Pat was nice, and like, no matter what, I'll give you 2. And Mitrione calls me up and gave me the best fucking talk of my life. I'm a dude who never had a dad, ever. I had a mother. She worked a couple of jobs. She fucking held us down. We moved around a lot. I had some fucking serious dog shit, relationships that I thought were going to be real that were wrong as a little kid. So I just did my own thing as a kid. I started painting my own way at 16. No one was, I just never had that dude. Like Todd McComas, your dad's a fucking Vietnam vet. You had the stability of a fucking real soldier.
Yeah, I'm lucky in that regard, for sure.
A lot of people are. A lot of people aren't too. A lot of people are in the same boat as me. I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just saying where I was.
Right.
So, like, I'm always on my own. I've always been on my own guy. Nonstop on my own. And then Mitrione called me up and said, it was kind of a tricky call at the beginning. He was very like, how do you feel about that? Do you want to do this again? Do you want to do this again? And then he's like, I was like, yeah, I do. Actually, I do. And he's like, and then he gave me this fucking speech about the 0.1% of the population that do what you just did. What you did, and look, don't worry about the outcome. Look at the overall situation. What did you do? You brought this to the table. You did this. You stepped in. You worked. You prepared accordingly. Because one of my biggest things was I'm getting paid. There's a possibility of a $10,000 purse and 100,000+ people watching. There are fighters out there right now that they put it all on the line for a minimal fraction of that. They fucking
absolutely.
Train. And I took it serious as balls. I take fighting so serious because I see what it really takes. You can't fake it. You can't fuck around. And he gave me this. You just called me, Meat, and you told me. You kind of opened it up as if like it wasn't gonna be a talk about what I did. And you asked me about my outcome, and you asked me my feelings, and then you said, then you just kind of broke down what I did. And then you said, now it's time. Now you figured it out. Now it's showtime. Now if you want to do it again, you're fucking ready. The first time everybody fucks off. They don't know. Because when you step in, I had no idea. I thought it was going to be like sparring. And it was absolutely nothing like sparring.
Well, and it's just like, here's the whole thing, like Lytle the whole time. Lytle would come in and he would watch.
My savior.
He would watch from afar, and he's like, all this is great that Pat and Damien have set up, but he's like, there's just no preparing for your first fight. He's like, I kind of want to put Shaun through like 7 mini fights, but he wasn't included in the package, so he's just watched from afar. And retrospect, obviously genius, but nobody knows like going in for the first time. He's like. Shaun doesn't know what's going to happen to his body or to his mind until he actually gets in there and throws punches for real for the very first time.
And I had no idea.
No. And that's where all my respect came from. Like, I have brawled in a fucking parking lot before and all that shit. I never did it like you did before, like in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
On a stage as opposed to
on
in
a stage
lot.
with lights. And when they turn it on, I probably would have had a heart attack. I'd have been like, I'm gassed already. Maybe throw a punch.
So let me interject there, Todd.
I just want to say how thankful I am for that talk, Meat.
You know what?
I remember it like it was yesterday.
How many people have done that in their lives?
That's exactly it. That's exactly the conversation, right? That, first of all, Chef, I love the fuck out of you. You're a good friend of mine. We talk on a regular basis, let alone about anything celebrity-based. You and I are friends. We talk and communicate about things that mean nothing to anybody else. So when I reach out to you, it is always, in which you know this, it's always of a genuine nature. I have nothing to gain from you. I have nothing that I want from you. I care about the effort you put forth in whatever chosen moment you have. So I ask you, hey, how's this going? How's that going? Blah, blah, blah. But if I have an ability to share the moment with you and to share experiences, I want to make sure that I can capitalize on that and say, hey, look, I've been there. I know the stress or anxiety or whatever elation or disappointment you feel. I've been through all of them. And you're receptive to that. And there's not a lot of people that I've ever come across, especially in the beginning of that process, that understand the depth that loss brings. Loss brings an amount of time that forces reflection. And whether you're man enough to let your balls drop and say, you know what, I did this, I did that. This is where I went wrong. This is where he capitalized because I went wrong, whatever that is. Or you can find excuses. Whichever way the loser takes it shows loser's character. So when I spoke to you and your response was, look, man, I just felt like I was out of my body. I didn't throw my jabs. I didn't find my distance. I just started fucking scrapping. That shows that you're human because you were vulnerable and you gave into it. And it's okay, bro. It's not a big damn deal. It's a big damn deal if 8 fights into it, you're still doing the same damn thing.
Or if you bitch out and don't go through with it for the first time.
Well, you, Todd McComas, you have no idea how accurate you are. We have dudes in our gym in Indianapolis alone. Indianapolis isn't known to be a bad motherfucking spot. We have people that are so good, they beat the shit out of me and Chris and anybody else we put in front of them. But if you put a flashlight from above, they disappear.
That's where I gained so much respect for Shaun. Was like, dude, like I may talk a mean game like, oh, I was pretty bad some bitch back in the day. I ain't never fought anybody under no lights in front of 100,000, 200, 300,000 people on camera and fucking
all with mouths on the internet.
Dude. And with the, Shaun's like a fighter, like Street Fighter guy, and he has these big giant gloves. All of a sudden, like so many things changed for Shaun to go in there into that environment. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like totally unafraid. Like I love Shaun like no other brother on this earth. He's like the closest thing I have to a brother. But when he fucking went forward with that, and I went through, and like I had no words afterward. Like
Todd,
he got to talk to you after I was in the hotel room, just sitting there like, I feel like such a piece of shit right now. Like I feel like Shaun
funny?
won and he didn't win. And
so what you're saying is an experience that 99% of the people that might still be watching after 2 hours will never understand, right? And that's that, Todd, Shaun feels the stress of competing. And the stress and anxiety of the moment. But caring or loving or feeling a substantial amount, not just casual, a substantial amount of being invested in a person that's competing is the worst fucking position possible. Because you cannot control a fucking thing. All you can is wish their survival and their best outcome. And you can't do a thing about it. So I understand why people that don't know the sport or just know somebody, it is fucking heart-wrenching and destroying at the same time.
Heart-wrenching, and I will say this, and this is how weird the world is. Me, Joe Schmo, fucking ex-cop, bullshit, comedian, whatever. That night was in Shaun's hotel room right after the fight. Shaun, while he was going through, immediately we knew we needed to put you on the TV because you were fighting that night. You were fighting for Bellator. And we watched that fucking fight while Shaun was going through what he was going through. And even though you were up here as one of the elite fighters in the fucking world, fighting where you were fighting. You had this friend Shaun here who was fighting what he was fighting, and then I'm just here on the side of the fucking bed trying to be pussy me, like participating in all of it. You fucking took time out of your day, bro, to call your brother Shaun and make sure you guys had this conversation. And for me on the side of the bed was just like the most beautiful moment. I'm like, these are my fucking dudes, dude. And they're going through this and they're going through it together on such different levels, but they're wanting to do it together. Like it was like one of the most beautiful nights of my life, sadly. Like it was a really cool moment to see, like things of movies almost. Like this.
Well, to be
mean?
in such an amateur, I mean, like we can, if we set aside the emotional aspect of it for my own self personally, because I was involved in it. At the end of the day, I'm like it was a child matchup compared to what, like.
But it
real people
still
do.
had a lot of fucking eyes on it, Shaun. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know what the fucking pay-per-view was doing and fucking Mitrione's thing, but you guys had a lot yourself.
It was more than it should have been.
Yeah.
Can I get some ice cubes for my whiskey or
go?
Dude.
All right. Hey, I just want to say this before I'm
But hey,
for a
in your
minute or
credit
so.
though, motherfucker, like you were in a high level fucking top MMA fight that night, and you took the time out to talk to Shaun, and it was beautiful for me to view that.
But there's a lot you guys don't realize. I owed Shaun for about 13 hand jobs.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
So, like,
I've been jacking him off for years.
I had to
It's
call
a
him.
beautiful thing, man.
If I didn't call him, I'd be selfish as fuck.
Oh, and you know what? You go. That's one thing that I just like. Listen, I can get haters all day, right? Like I've been feeling a lot better because I stopped reading the blog comments, and I've realized that like there's something like when it comes to hate on the internet, right? For me personally, I've realized that a lot of the hate under the bar stool, like the love is much quieter. And stronger.
Yes.
If I get wrecked. I am so happy.
Beyond the trolls, basically.
Yeah, I am so happy and humbled to know that I've been any place I've ever traveled in the last 2 years. Someone stopped me. I don't give a fuck where I've been. I've been to Big Bear, California, in the grocery store, and a guy walked up on me like, "What are you buying, chef?"
Right.
And my buddies from fucking 20 years ago were like, "Fuck you, dude." And I've been every single city I've ever been to, at least one person rolls up on me, right? Which is huge.
Yeah.
The hate is always so strong. I forgot what I was going to say, man.
Well, it comes to a point where you have to, like, as a dude, you're like, you know what? That hate's there and it's not real. It's not even real.
Well, it is real, but I've ignored it lately because I
don't even consider it
my
real.
my girl hates it too. She loves me. She knows it's such a minuscule type of thing. But when you read it, but what I figured out is a lot of it is burner accounts.
Yes, it's manufactured fucking nonsense.
This could be me going to full Joe Rogan conspiracy.
No.
But when I don't see real accounts hating, when I see following 30, following 100, one follower, two followers started their account within the last few months, there's something going on. Somebody is in charge of burners.
Well, and here's part of it, like my small time with Barstool, like you just got to learn, like there's a certain amount of people that just
But this is bigger because
they seek reaction.
The only reason I say this now is because of the current situation, right? Like it's me and another guy cooking, and there's several people on the website cooking. But I had one argument with a guy a year ago, and there's somebody with a several amount of burners, and this could be a conspiracy theory, but there are burner accounts, and I see them, and as soon as I block, there's no real hate from real accounts. There's nobody with 1,000 followers or 400.
They have like
700.
4 followers.
It's
5,
3 or 2. It's a coordinated thing. And I'm a fucking. And listen, I used to be a much larger conspiracy guy than I am now. Do I think that a lot of conspiracy are happening? Of course I do. But I look at the situation. I look at the view numbers. I look at the likes. There's somebody, and I'll say this. If when I got into an argument with a kid 20 years younger than me or 18 years younger than me, when I was that age, my friend circle was fucking large. 100. Easy. If
That's because you
Twitter,
saw 2 of them because you have a lazy eye.
yeah, and that's 200. What I'm just
Speaking
saying
of
is that
conspiracy theory,
if somebody came at me this hard at 24, and I had Twitter, 100 of my buddies would have been fucking swarming that kid.
but they're not seeing that
At
kid because he's on a burner
41.
account. Yeah.
No one gives. My buddies don't give a fuck. They got businesses and houses and wives and kids and jobs. Nobody has got time to help you defend yourself on the internet.
Nah.
And again, I don't care anymore. What I know is this. I was out of place in the Chef Donnie crap, right? I went overboard. I'm not an arguer. I fight you or I'm your friend. West Coast people don't have to understand. East Coast, you guys, this is why I don't really, I don't fit the narrative of the barstool
Fuck
mentality.
East Coast people because they only know one speed.
KFC, Dave, these guys are so good at just going back and forth and arguing and talking shit. And West Coast, you know what we do? We kick it. We lay up. We're chill. We do our thing. We have friends. If you're our enemy, we fight. No, do you ever tell me one West Coast person that is an argumentative style, whatever kind of person? They're not, bro.
Well, I have a theory. This is why Midwest people
We
aren't.
Tupac?
Tupac's from fucking DC or some shit, or Baltimore.
This is why this is my theory, and I could be wrong, but why Midwest people aren't good internet trolls compared to East Coast and West Coast people is because Midwest people are used to punching people in the face or not.
West Coast people aren't trolls. We don't argue.
Well, you go to East Coast, like so much of that barstool shit, they go on because they never punched anybody in the face. So it's or never been punched in the face.
Yeah.
So they
it's
troll
more
a
of
lot.
an East Coast thing. People, they argue. They go heads
In the
up.
Midwest, you grow up I don't say
fight
shit
or your
to somebody unless we're nose to nose and somebody's going to get punched in the face. So that's just it's such different ground.
But I will say that now, as of recently, I've been watching the trolls. It's burner accounts. It is fucking burner. A couple people, they legitimately hate me.
I mean,
in the blog, whatever.
And it's not just you, bro.
I get a month. If 400 people hate me, I'm okay with that. Okay, that's okay.
And it's not just you, by the way. I get shit too from leaving where I left and all. And it's always some fucking East Coaster who's never been hit in the face before. And I'm like, all right, just here, you're gone out of my life. And I just block him because I recognize right
I've
away.
Been
I'm
blocking the shit out of him.
Wherever you live, I'm like, you've never grown up in a place where if you said something out loud, you had to really consider before you said it whether or not other people in the room were going to hit you in the face.
Yeah.
And I don't respect that. I can't have a conversation with that kind of person.
We either fight or we're friends. And that's it.
And that's where you got caught up in with a bunch of people who have never grown up in a world where they had to risk, saying what they're saying, meaning they get hit in the mouth or not.
All right, so let me say this much.
I'm going to take a piss real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Say something else that I don't have to be involved in.
Some of my best friends I've ever had in my entire life, I fought first.
Right? That's usually how you made friends.
Yeah. I became friends with them after I was a fighting motherfucker. So, if you're going to talk shit about me or say this, we're going to scrap. And then afterwards, either they respected me or I respected them for the fight they put up.
Well, and how do you not respect somebody? That's a great way to learn respect from somebody. You got into, you threw blows on the playground, and afterward you're like, you know what? Shouldn't have talked shit about you. You're a good dude.
Yeah. Or you're with your salt. I shouldn't have said shit about you. Whether I think you're a punk or not, I'll respect you because you're no ho.
You came up with it. Yeah.
For example, the fucking fat, fucking bloated vagrant. I don't like that motherfucker at all.
Right.
But he's fucking tough. I can't say shit about him that's
I agree with that.
Like Roy Nelson, you knew.
Growing up, I fought him first.
Dude, right?
Oh, yeah. Buddies growing up, we fought, and then we were boys.
I can't tell you one of my best friends that I grew up with at an early age in school that I didn't fight. At one point, we fought. We threw punches back and forth. Or you're not in my core group of best friends.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
There's a massive difference between somebody you respect enough to fight and potentially lose to, versus somebody you know is just a fucking hoe. There's a massive difference to that, man.
But there's just something to it when you come up that way. Like, all right, so Matt, let's say I didn't know you at all. And let's say because I'm an MMA fan, for some reason, I just didn't like you as an MMA fighter.
Happens all the time. Ultimate fighter.
I would never fire off in a thread that you're in, because I would be like, I would never fight that person. Therefore, I would never say anything against that person. Yeah. That's how I came up, right? Mm-hmm. So there's this whole world of people that will do that, even though they know that they would piss their pants before.
But we're a different breed of.
I know.
Like, this is it's a different ball game. Those people don't worry about, like, they're little punk ass hoes that hide behind fake pictures. What do they got to worry about? They can say whatever they want to a guy like Matt Mitrione, who they can never, who them and 6 friends would get fucking absolutely murdered by.
But let me express this also. It's also to a position where, like, they wouldn't say shit to Nate and Nick Diaz. Like, they'll talk mad shit about it, and it doesn't matter. They wouldn't say shit like that to fucking Mighty Mouse. Like,
let alone one of those dudes' face.
They would never have the balls to be like, yo, you're a fucking hoe, and this is the reason why you're a fucking hoe. Right?
Hey,
like,
this dude just said that he shot one of his best friends in the hand with an arrow. Do we want to hear that story?
What do you mean? So this kid fucking
Adam Roberts. He shot one of his best friends in the hand with an arrow.
He's drunk.
And
I'll
say this, like, it's bugged me. Listen, I've never dealt with any kind of level of hate growing up. Like, I've had a couple enemies here and there, and we fought it out.
Where do you see he shot his boy with an arrow?
Adam Roberts, right?
I see Yes, New York.
See Billy Snyder here that says hell fist fighting is pretty much the defending part of a friendship, and then right under that, Adam Roberts. I shot one of my best friends in the hand with an arrow.
I have a dot in my head.
Did I ever tell you about the dude, the twins that used to bully me when I was a kid? Did I ever tell you about that? They're Willie and Willis Trotter.
Oh, good name.
And
Willie.
I thought they were girls that used to bully you around.
Mr. Trotter. Mr. Trotter.
Willie ended up shooting and killing Willis with a bow
Are you serious?
Arrow. So check
Dude,
this shit
you grew up with 2 fucking brothers. One killed another with a fucking arrow?
Twin brothers.
What? How? I never heard this story before.
They were in a fight, and Willis was hiding behind a tree, and Willie shot a bow and arrow and hit Willis, and it punctured one kidney or both kidneys or some shit. But Willis needed a kidney transplant. And they're identical twins. So they got into a fight in the same room, and Willie decided not to give Willis his kidney. And as a result, Willis died. And then Willie died in a drive-by like 12 months later.
I don't mean to laugh at all this fucking horrible shit, but that's the greatest story I've ever heard in my life. I never heard this before.
Bro, I saw Willie apparently like probably a month before he died. And I saw him, and I was so used to being scared by him that I saw him and my heart probably jumped in triple rate.
Jesus Christ.
Like, I felt like, like, I don't know if everybody knows it. I'm assuming everybody feels what I felt. Like an electrical charge underneath my tongue when, oh shit, it just got real. Like my pulse, my whole everything, my fight or flight kicked in. I felt it underneath my tongue when I saw him walking through a crowd.
Wow.
Like my whole body was like, like I don't know how to respond to it.
You guys go.
Wow, dude.
Dude, like, I've never seen in this situation like that, man. Never.
That's insanity.
You had something like that before, Chef?
Not that crazy.
Did you get beat up as a kid?
Not really, man. I got in fights. I went ham. I never was bullied. Like I was a fucking maniac kid. Like if someone talked shit, I was like, all right, whoa, and I was fucking ready to rock, bro. And if I got beat up, I got hit, but I never was bullied. And if someone but maybe I wasn't in a position where there was just like guys that much bigger happened to fuck with me. So I was lucky in that aspect, but I moved around a lot, right? So I moved, when I was in 5th grade, my mom, she had another boyfriend and he was from South Carolina. So we left California, boom, went to South Carolina. And then in South Carolina, I was like the only dark-skinned kid I didn't get bullied. You know what though? So I was never bullied in that aspect. Nothing ever luckily happened. To where that happened, I got in a lot of fights as a kid. I got a lazy eye. People talk shit. I moved a lot, but I was never.
Why'd you move with that?
My mom, you know what? Like I was born in California, and my mother, my dad didn't show up, and she met my dad, my brother's dad, and they got divorced, and so shit wasn't good. So my mom met somebody else, and he lived in South Carolina, so she was like, "Fuck this place," and my mom. In California where I was at was a very strong gang neighborhood. So she said, fuck this. So we moved to South Carolina.
You went from California to South Carolina.
That's a strong fucking mom move, by the way, though.
Dude, that's
can you imagine being Sean's mom and being in that position? It's like, I got my kids to a whole new fucking world and moves harassed from there to South Carolina.
Through 5th grade.
Wow.
And I remember this. It was the most eye-opening situation because I had been in California, and in California, race isn't a thing, right? Like growing up, even then,
sure.
in the late 80s, early 90s, no one cared if you were black, white, Mexican. You just who you were in California.
Right.
I moved in middle of 5th grade. I moved to South Carolina, and I went in. I remember Miss McGraw. I walked into her class, and you know how it is when you get a new student in elementary school.
What year were you in? What grade were you in?
5th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whatever age that is, I don't even know. I was born, I walk in. This is probably like 90. I don't know. I was 91, 92. I graduated in 97. So I walk in. We actually lived in Ohio first. Hold on. Before I moved to South Carolina, I was a little kid in 2nd grade. No, in 2nd grade, we moved from L.A. My mom got remarried. We moved to Ohio where my mom's brother lived. I went to 2nd grade. I did shitty. Me and my best friend, Ronnie, we both got held back, and we did 2nd grade together again. And then at the end of that, we moved back to L.A., No, Alabama. My mother's boyfriend at the time, her husband at the time, his business fell through. So we moved where his family was in Birmingham, outside of Birmingham in Hueytown, Alabama. Huge NASCAR town. So I met Davey Allison. Every Sunday, all the NASCAR drivers in Alabama would go to Exxon and sign autographs.
Nice.
Who's Davey Allison?
He died. He died. His father was Bobby Allison. They're both fucking. The Allison family is a monster
huge
NASCAR.
family in NASCAR.
So apparently he wasn't that good as a driver.
No, he was good. He just died. You're a hater. Yeah.
All the Allisons
Alabama didn't work out. My mom got divorced. That was the last time I called anybody dad because he said, I'll see you in 6 days. I ain't seen the motherfucker since. He took all our stuff, sold it, and left. But we moved back to California. So I went from California, Ohio, Alabama, back to California. My mom met somebody new after a couple of years. We went to South Carolina in 5th grade. First day of 5th grade, Miss McGraw said, we got a new student from California. I'm going to go ahead and get him a desk. I'll be right back. And I remember standing in front of this class of fucking South Carolinian 5th graders with my little hair down to the side and shit, bowl cut, Mexican-looking California kid. And this black girl named Crystal, who was like bigger than everybody, had been held back 2 times at least. She could beat up all dudes and guys. She said, hey, Shaun, you got a girlfriend? I was like, nah, I just moved here. I'm in 5th grade, right? She's, I'm your new girlfriend. I was like, oh, I don't know what to do, right? And then I remember this. I was standing in front of the class, just like standing like a little fucko. It was me and the Puerto Rican kid, Casper, who used to charge $0.25 to make everybody's dollar bill rings out of dollar bills. And I was like, I don't have a girlfriend. And she goes, you stuck up? I'm like, oh, what's going on? Then Miss McGraw came in with a fucking desk. I sat down. I lived in South Carolina for the rest of 5th, all of 6th, all of 7th, and then all of 8th, except for the last 6 weeks. My mom broke up with that guy, and then we moved back to California. No, to move to Arizona. Yuma. That's when I moved to 5th. So all that happened before 15.
Wow.
And then at 15, I moved up because my grandparents had sold their house in California and moved to Yuma, where my grandmother's brother had owned a dog kennel and stuff, and they had a whole life there. So we moved to that's where I lived in Arizona from 15 to 25 before I moved to LA for comedy.
Wow, dude.
But it was,
what a journey.
you just that's where funny comes into play. Like nothing matters really. Like if you're the new kid, being funny makes you like comedy, right? When you're funny, after a show, when you crush, people, Todd, you obviously know this. People come up to you and they open their life like you have known them since they were 2 years old.
Yeah.
They will
comedy's
open
the
their
key that unlocks
door.
all doors.
Being
it really
funny
is.
all that matters. Intelligence is awesome, but funny. Listen, anybody can be smart. Well, obviously that's not true, but I'm saying a lot of people can be smart, but funny you can't fuck with. Funny just brings out a different thing in people where they come up to you and they open their door in their life. Come to my house, eat with me, hang out with my girlfriend, hang out with my mother. Be our friend. Let's go here after. Let me buy you drinks. Let me have weed, have this, have everything.
You're right.
It's just
a
the way it
weird
is,
thing.
man. And it doesn't just equal stand-up comedy. When I started learning in South Carolina, when I moved there in junior high, I was friends with these black dudes. And these dudes in South Carolina were so fucking funny, but they were edgy and they would get in trouble for it. Like they would crush, but they would get in trouble. And I tried it, and I tried to be like that. And I said some dumb shit that crushed, but I got in trouble. And my mother beat my ass. I would get bloody noses. I would get my mom would be like, as soon as you get fucking home, if you make me come home from work, you little motherfucker, if I lose my fucking job because you think you're fucking funny, you're fucked. And that's how she talked to me. With anger, with cussing, with fear.
Because
So I got
everything
in
was
trouble.
on her.
Yeah, if
You know what I
me
mean?
and my
Like-
brother and my mother, if my
Yeah.
mother had to leave her job to
That
come
was
get
it.
me, if my mother lost her job because I'm trying to be funny in 5th grade or
know.
7th grade, you're fucked. You aren't these other dudes.
Can you imagine the pressure in your mom in that spot?
imagine if I'm the reason?
I
went to
know.
the
Like I'm
principal's
carrying
office
this whole
once.
ship, and if I have to fucking quit my job because my son
Is a
is
fucking
crushing it in 5th grade right now.
Yeah, and being some dumbass. So I remember that was the one time I thought being funny was also being in trouble. Then I figured out you can be funny, but also be likable. And you can be funny, like when you have to read out loud and you read like a dummy. All right, joke's over, Shaun. You're not funny. Like, the
Right.
class laughs at your dummy ass trying to read out loud funny, but I was just insecure because I didn't want to read out loud because if I fuck up a word, I'm a dummy in front of everybody. So I kind of figured out I didn't want to get my ass beat by my mother because I was more scared of my mother than anybody. My mother will fuck you up.
Right.
There was no fucking around. Belts, paddles, smacks in the face. There was no fucking this wasn't like one of these pushover situations. You got
I respect it.
your
My mom was the
ass
same way.
beat, dude. And that's it. And I was like, well, I want to be funny and I like being funny, but I don't want to get my ass beat.
Right.
So you find that middle common ground and then things were good. You become friends. Everybody wants to be friends with the funny guy. He's from California. We're in this little honky-donk town. You know what the best part was? I lived in the same city in South Carolina that, you ever seen House of Cards?
Uh-huh.
You ever watch House of Cards in Gaffney where the fucking Kevin Spacey's from?
Yeah.
That's where I lived.
Oh, nice.
That big town with the big peach water thing looks like a big-ass asshole with hemorrhoids.
Right.
We used to drive by. That's the big peach in
Dude.
Gaffney, South Carolina.
Here's where being funny and being likable can really save your shit. Because my senior year,
Don't fade, Mitrione.
you're still good, Mitrione.
Never.
You're good. So my parents lived in Texas, right? They lived in Longview, Texas. And I got to stay with two of my best friends. I just lived with two of my best friends my senior year. One was 23 years old, and one was in my grade. We were seniors. And the three of us lived in a house together, along with my other best friend, whose who was living with his grandparents, and he moved in with us. So 4 of my best friends, we just lived together my senior year. It's like dream situation.
Wow.
But I'm not
Wait,
disciplined.
no family? No members?
Nothing, dude.
So,
Right? You're senior in high
you
school?
four were virgins when you graduated.
Just each other thumbs in your assholes.
The oldest guy, I think, was. The rest of us, no.
Wow, what, you got to live on your own your senior year.
It was a dream. Sounds like a dream, right? So
I
we were
love
living
drugs. I can only imagine how fucking hard you guys went.
we went hard, especially, well, 2 of us went hard. The older guy that I lived with, he was straight laced. He didn't
The virgin.
drink. Yeah, he was a virgin.
Like Shaun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then my other best friend went to fucking Princeton, and he was our star quarterback, the best player on the basketball team. Like, he was destined for great things. He didn't drink or party. Then there was me and Mike, who were truly best friends, who lived there, had no business living there, and we were the fuck ups, and we would just go fucking get annihilated all the time, right? So we're in this house, and I missed like 43 days of school my senior year. Like, I just wouldn't
My
show
mother
up
would
all the time.
choke me, bro.
Like, right? So it got to a point where luckily the guy in charge of discipline at that high school was also our athletic director. So he was like, all right, I'm really supposed to like kick you out of school for the year under this many absences. But he's like, I know you're in a unique situation.
Yeah.
Let's just call your dad and let's have him. He's going to have to come here. The school board's demanding he fly from Texas to come here and defend you being able to stay in school. And I'm like, all right, my dad will do that. My dad's awesome. So they call my dad, and my dad leaves his job at Harley Carburetor, where he's relocated his family to Texas. And I, with his complete trust, talk him into letting me go back to finish my senior year with my friends in Indiana. And he has to fly back. And he's ready to box my fucking ears off my head, right? So he gets back, and he has to attend the school board meeting, and the principal is there and the athletic director. And the only saving grace I have is I am so fucking likable, and I am so fucking funny that the athletic director loves me, and I'm really good at baseball. Like, I fucking am like the best baseball player on the team.
I can tell
almost.
by your hat. You look like a
Right?
baseball player with your hat on.
100%.
So the athletic director who's in charge of discipline is in my corner the whole time. He's like, yeah, but Todd's a good kid, right? He's like, yeah, he's missed 43 days of school, but we all love when he fucking
So much.
pipes off with some crazy shit in the middle of class, right? So we battle this thing, and they literally were like, we're going to kick him out of school. He's going to have to come back and repeat his senior year of high school, or just go get his GED on his own.
Right.
And then my dad's like, well, what are the alternatives? And then my athletic director comes forth, and he said, what if we can find another adult to house this kid? Like, not his 23-year-old best friend, but like a real adult to house this kid, and he doesn't miss another day of school. So I had to move in with my aunt and then finish my senior year. And I was not allowed to be late to school, Shaun. One fucking day for like the last third of my senior year. I missed those 43 days of school in the first 2/3 of the school year.
I can't imagine that.
That's a lot of
was
school
fucking
missing,
nuts,
bro.
dude. And so I had to live my life that way for the next remaining third of my senior year, and couldn't be late to school one fucking time, or else I was the fuck out. And
then you
I
became
played
a goddamn
sports.
detective for 22 years.
I know. That's why I say the polygraphs don't work. I was
Oh, I know they
polygraphed,
don't work. When I got a job at the sheriff's department, I lied my asshole off.
right? I did
I had
the
done
same
plenty
thing.
of drug offenses before then, and I just all you have to know is that no means yes, yes means no. That's it, bro. Just so you know, polygraphs are dog shit.
They're
I
dog
lied
shit.
my ass
I
off
did
as an
too.
18-year-old kid.
I did
Dude,
too.
I want to take a breath. Not a breath. Yes. I want to take a breathalyzer for however many reasons under the sun. I want to take a breathalyzer, but I also want to take a lie detector just to see how I do.
You'll pass, bro. Believe me.
If
It's-
you have your
it's,
mindset right, you'll pass. Dude, Shaun and I both
I
had to
fell
go through.
asleep during it, and the guy goes, "Wake up, buddy."
Yeah.
Shut up.
I swear, my God, I was 18. You have to take one of the sheriff's department. Bro, I had already had friends at my waiter job that I was hanging out in Mexico. They'd have like $10K on them cash everywhere we go. I had my cousins taking shit brick weed to LA for $2,000. I'd give them $600. I'd keep $1,400. I had so much dumb shit going on, and when I did this stupid ass lie detector test, they strap it on around your waist and they put some things on your fingers. They're hoping that you trip out when they ask you, because they ask you the same. They're
hoping you cave.
They give you a booklet this thick of questions, and you sit there for like 2 shifts of 8 hours filling it out. And then when you take the lie detector test, they ask you. I don't know how they all work, but the one that I took, they ask you the same 12 questions 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And all that matters is your reaction, because your heart has to be acting different in your body. So if yes means no and no means yes, it doesn't fucking matter. So whenever I watch a Netflix thing or anybody says, oh, he took a lie detector test and passed, big fucking deal, bro.
I don't give a fuck about that.
I got way involved in drug moving and trafficking before I got this, before I was 18, before I got this jail job, before I took this lie detector test. I remember he'd be like, have you ever done this? No. Have you ever done that? Yeah. Have you ever done this? No. I remember I fell asleep during it, and he goes, wake up, sir. I go, oh, sorry.
No way.
Dude, they asked me.
Fucking bullshit, bro.
Dude, I became a state police officer,
Ask
and
Todd.
they asked me, like, there's a specific question that says, have you ever committed a crime that you've never been held responsible for, never been held accountable for? And I just told you I, like, committed insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking...
Wait, you said some shit like that?
No, I didn't
No.
say it.
He
but
knew
I
he had
knew in
done
my
it.
head that I had, right? And I was just like, nope. And then afterward, they're like, we're showing a reaction to this. Can you expand on that or whatever? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I did never, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then, like, the big one they tried to get me on was, at the time I was a sign maker, and we had a keg of beer. My boss was from New Zealand. We had a keg of beer on tap the entire time. We were drunk the entire time we were working, a 12-hour day, decaling Indy cars, for the track. And they were like, well, we're showing a reaction to your drinking questions about how much you drink. And I go, I don't know. I was in the Marine Corps for a while, and we used to drink nonstop. Maybe it's something from that. And they're like, yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, you're probably
Let alone, like, I was drunk yesterday before I came in here. Like,
It's all the reaction in your body. So if they have a heart monitor on you, and then you lie and you're like, oh my God, I'm lying.
Yes.
And then it goes crazy, then they know you're lying because you're holding yourself so
It's only for
fell
dummies to
asleep.
confess.
Exactly what it is.
Yes.
I couldn't trust a lie detector test to fucking throw it as far as I can throw myself. And I'm fat and old and I get winded and it's not happening.
Todd and Chef. Let me ask you guys this question.
All right.
So we sit around, we drink 9 old styles
Okay.
in an hour. All of us. Right? What's our BAC?
Depends on what we ate, I believe.
No,
our
whatever.
weight-
Fucking,
our weight.
You
No,
don't,
the weight.
Our
your
weight.
we don't eat
Your weight.
for an hour before, and then we
your
go to the
weight.
bar. You stop eating at 2 o'clock. You go to the bar at 3 o'clock. We drink
okay.
9
It's a weight.
beers in an hour.
But it's all on
Yours will
body
be the
weight.
lowest.
So
Yours
yours
will
will
be
be
the
the lowest. Sean's the next, and I'm going to be the highest.
Yeah. It's a weight
Is that
thing.
legit?
Yeah,
it's
it's
a weight
legit. It's
Shaun
like
is a cop. That's legit.
What? No, I'm not a cop. Todd was a cop.
No, I'm sorry. Todd is a cop. My fault.
yeah, no,
Todd's
it's
a cop.
legit. It's legit. Like it's all body weight. Like I got a DUI, right? Like I've made no secret about
Todd would
that.
have been a sheriff of a fucking town.
Yeah, I would have been like the sheriff of Shelby County, Indiana, if I had not gotten a DUI, and I got a .08 for having
Fuck
literally
that
like
nerd.
2.5 beers.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
My beer,
Whoa.
my DUI
Say
when
it
I got it
again.
was
Nah,
point
Big,
one
you didn't
two.
drink 2.5 beers. You had a fucking DUI.
I did. I
No
drank 2.5
fucking
beers
way.
and immediately went home, and it was fresh. And like I only weighed, like I told you, like I used to only weigh like 145 fucking pounds and it didn't take much.
Weight,
you know what
bro.
I mean?
It's weight. It's all about weight versus volume.
And you burn off like a beer an hour or more, depending on how much you weigh, right? So like I wasn't burning off much. It's totally like how big you are. That's all.
Shout out to Jack Frost smoking a fat doink right now. Also, shout out to my guy Steve from Rhode Island. Always, the kid's a fucking soldier.
Steve, you're a beast.
He was
bro.
a fucking.
I can't wait to meet Steve in person.
I met Steve, bro.
I know,
I
but I
know
wanna
he's a
meet
real
him.
guy. He's a military guy from like England. He's like he's just a fisherman. When this shit all ends, I'm going fishing with Steve. We're gonna get scallops. We're gonna get crabs. We're gonna cook them on the fucking.
Whoa, Steve's the dude we were talking about before.
Yeah,
I want to go with.
I'm going with.
it'll all go. It'll be a
Yeah, we
fucking
should
great
go.
episode.
I've never been to New England to do some fun shit.
I haven't either, and I love
I've been,
fishing.
but I've never been like, let's go to fucking Rhode Island and go fishing on a goddamn boat, pick up scallops
Listen
and
here.
crabs.
What I want to do, I want to go to Rhode Island and party hard as fuck.
Right?
That's what I want to do. I want to go to New England and fuck Boston. But I want to go to New England and get fucking weird.
Yeah,
They get weird there.
So I want
I do too,
Get
dude.
hammered there.
And
They
I
do their
love to fish like in Indiana lake fishing. I want to go to the East Coast and do some real fishing with
Yeah, I
a
wanna go on
pole
a
off
boat,
a pier or a
Fucking
boat
nets. I want to go nets. I want to go full on fucking like one of those Alaskan
and
shit.
have beer in a cooler and
I
us
could
fucking
take us
hammer.
both to Florida and get fucking weird out of West
Listen,
Palm.
we went there, bro.
Why
We
are you
went
not-
fishing. I went fishing with Mitrione.
Why
We
did
caught
I
a
not get
fucking- What was
invited?
that fish we caught and carved up at that fucking that big
Copa.
we caught a big
It was a dolphin. It was a mahi-mahi. It was a
mahi.
dolphin.
We caught a mahi. And
Why
we
was I
fucking
not
carved
invited?
it up. The problem was that we fucked it up. We fucked up the filming. It was my fault. But it's hard to film if you're just a guy like. Listen, I'm not a producer, but we carved up a fish and we ate it. We got a huge.
Tell them what we did.
Bro,
it
we
at.
got an 8-foot.
Tell them what we did it at.
We went. Andy. Dude, this kid Andy's in a fucking $9 million condo. And what city was that? Boca
Fucking Boca. son.
Boca Raton. We go on a boat with this kid. We fish out this fucking 3 or 4 foot, probably 30-pound mahi.
Beautiful fucking fish.
Yeah, we
Beautiful
got it right
fish.
at the end. We caught it with this guy, such a great fisherman. We go back to this
Fucking Dan. Dan's a fucking dope motherfucker.
We're
son.
out there all day.
Dude, the stories, Todd.
Me,
the
you, and
stories
Chaz
that-
Skelly. Chaz Skelly.
he got seasick.
Yeah, he threw up. And then we go back to fucking Andy's
Dude, Todd,
house.
Chaz, you know who Chaz
Not-
Skelly is?
Yeah, I know who Chaz Kelly is. He fucking plays for the Colts, or did
No,
last
he's
year.
an MMA fighter.
He's
Oh,
a-
different.
yeah.
I'm thinking of.
We
So-
go back to Andy's $9 million Boca
Hey,
Raton condo. Luke
Tell him how
Rockhold
seasick Chaz Skelly was, bro.
He was thrown up. We go back though, and we decide, you know what? Let's just figure it out, bro. Let's just carve it up. And we decide we're gonna try to do an episode. Booze couldn't handle he couldn't figure it out. He couldn't do it. The episode was too fucked up. The footage was too jacked up. But we did carve up our own fucking 30-pound mahi or whatever it cost
In a
or whatever it was.
fucking-
And we
in a
cooked it and ate it.
$9 million penthouse on the ocean.
Yes.
Fuck it.
We're talking like when the elevator gets to your level, it opens up to the house. Like that level of shit.
Damn.
Luke,
Dude.
me, and Matt. Luke didn't fish with us, but he did show up with us and hang out and eat and cut
With
it
that
up. and
chick he
fucking-
brought.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo,
What a great time that was in fucking
Dude.
Florida. And that
Hey,
was when
you
I
know-
trained with you down there for a couple days.
dude, it was
that
fucking great
goddamn-
time.
Wow.
You know what's funny, Todd?
Too
Like,
much going on.
I really, truly, I don't, and maybe Shaun, I'm sure you're going to be in the exact same situation I am. I don't understand why.
It was a palace.
was
It
a-
was a palace.
I don't understand why so many people can't hate the weight Luke.
Oh, you know why?
Like-
He's just got too much going on. People don't have.
I
they
love
hate
that
what they ain't.
motherfucker, bro.
He's the greatest, bro. He's
He's
the man.
Todd. he's so fucking cool, bro.
He's
I'm a
so
big fan.
nice.
Like
he's so fucking nice.
I like I like him
Like-
as a fighter. Like he brings everything.
He was
Yeah,
a
but,
middleweight fucking heavyweight champ.
A fighter, like genuinely.
Yeah.
And I understand you don't understand the capacity of what we're talking about. But like he's so casually cool as fuck and nonchalant. And like this dude, like he will go from banging a fucking 14 to banging a 6 and walk right in the fucking living room, fucking butt ass naked, sweating his shit, being like, what the fuck are we gonna start drinking, motherfuckers? Like he's just that fucking dude. Like Shaun, am I wrong at all?
Well, I've never been there when he did that, but I just, the guy is just another breed of awesome human.
That
And you know what he is? He's West Coast as fuck. Like he just doesn't listen. He proves his life. Like, you know, I can tell how West Coast he is because he hates Twitter. His Twitter, he has like 400,000 people and he never gets on because it's such hate. And he doesn't want to deal with the hate. Why deal with it? He's a fucking world-class fighter. He's a world-class model. He's a world-class friend. The guy is a fucking awesome human being. He loves to cook. He takes care of people. He's an awesome guy.
Will do whatever the fuck comes up.
Yeah.
Like it. Hey, Shaun, let's go to fucking Bali and scuba dive in a fucking cave.
Exactly. And he was there. He was there for a month before this shit popped off. He comes back. If I call him up, I'm like, hey, do you want to do an interview for my shit? He comes to my house. Like, it's the same as Mitrione. Like, we train, we hang out, we cook, we'll cook again. When we were in Florida for that week, we cooked several times at his house. Not only did at Andy's house did we get off the elevator and we're at Andy's house, but when we went to Luke Rockhold's house, you got off the elevator, you weren't in the hallway. You're in Luke's house. Yeah. And then what we do? We make salads.
Tell me about the piano. Do you remember the fucking piano Luke had?
But you know what I remember more? Cooking with him in his kitchen. We're cutting up garlic, talking shit, having a good time, drinking whiskey, talking about whiskey. The three of us fucking in there, fucking chopping vegetables.
You know what bothers me for him, man? I'm being totally for real. Like people, nobody, and I really mean nobody. 'Cause I've been in the game long enough. I can say that. Like nobody understands how cool that motherfucker is, man.
Nah.
He's like. He's the dude that when he's your fucking dude, he's like, so Luke and Joe Schilling are the same motherfucker to me. I love them both equally. Todd, when you called earlier today and I didn't answer, it's because I was on the phone with Joe Schilling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love those motherfuckers, man. And I talk to them on a regular basis. And even if I don't talk to him for 6 months, like I called Joe and Joe said like within 20 minutes, we're right fucking back to the same old bullshit that we always are. Luke is exactly the same way. Like if he cares about you, you're in. He's just your fucking dude for life. That's how it goes.
Listen, all we did was hang out that week in Florida. We cooked like 3 nights together. He invited us over to the house. We're hanging out. We're having a good time. We're hitting it off, talking and cooking. Yeah, I could call him right now. The motherfucker will answer. I didn't grow up with him. I haven't trained with him. I haven't sweated and fucking dripped tears and blood with him. On the years he's trained to become the fucking middleweight UFC champion.
Andy might screen you.
Yeah, Andy might. Andy. What another great guy that I knew for like 10 minutes in perspective.
I love Andy. I love Andy.
Good.
I love Andy, man.
Andy was, dude, Todd, let me tell you who Andy is. I don't know what the fuck Andy did in his life, but he has an $8 million condo that you get off the elevator and you're in his house.
That's pretty cool.
He's on the fucking beach, bro.
Yeah, on the overlooking the water, unbelievable. We're at his house and fucking who called him? Fucking the number one, like I remember in like 1990. I don't know. It must have been right after high school, 99. Fucking the one UFC fighter was like 19, bro, when he used to kill everybody.
Vitor.
Vitor Belfort.
Oh,
He's
fuck.
fucking FaceTiming Vitor Belfort.
Are you serious?
I'm like, I'm hanging out with Matt Mitrione and Luke Rockhold, carving up fish that none of us. I mean, I don't know what Mitrione had to. And we're all trying to figure out, just like, fuck it, we're winging it. I think we had looked at some some YouTube videos, and I'm carving it up, and we're carving it up together on this guy's $2 million countertops. And while he's over here talking to Vitor Belfort on a fucking FaceTime call.
Yo,
Jesus.
So you know what's interesting, Shaun, is that I don't know if you remember this or not, but he got off the phone with Vitor and because he got a call from the CEO of American Express.
I don't remember that.
He was FaceTiming with the CEO of American Express, and they're talking about stock options and then what they're going to do tomorrow when the market opens again.
Unreal.
Jesus
Unreal.
Christ.
And he was the nicest guy you've ever met. Bro, he took the next day, we woke up, he's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not doing shit. I'll meet you at this fucking place. We go to some hotel bar, like on the water. It's like noon. He's buying fucking ceviche and crab and Coronas, bro. And he's like, you don't even think about taking out your wallet. I mean, it's just unreal shit. And the next thing you know, I'm training at the fucking, where Henry Hoff, fucking you and Luke, and fucking Rashad's there, and fucking the Nigerian Nightmare. I mean, it was just unreal. Mitrione's yelling at me because I don't want to let him kick me in the fucking leg and let my shit hurt for a month and a half, you piece of shit. Stop moving your leg. Fuck you, bro. You're 260. You're Matt Mitrione. I'm a fat piece of shit, Shaun Latham. You kick my leg barely, and I'm down for a month.
Hey, but you know what I love about that, though, in all sincerity,
I find you started letting me. I had to let you kick me.
Is because we treat you like a normal motherfucker. You're not special when you come down there.
Yeah, that is cool.
You're just a fucking dude.
I'm just another dude.
You come down, you fucking work like we do.
But
That is cool. It has to feel cool.
In all fairness, though, every time you told me to let, like, it wasn't my fault. It was something in me that wouldn't, like, I tried to let my legs stay there while
Matt, you have to realize how bad it hurts when you fucking hit things.
Well, he knows, but when he's like, okay, I'm going to show you something, but don't move. And then his fucking fat, muscular leg would come sweeping around, and I couldn't help it. It was like, it's like if you're in a car accident and you pull left, you don't have a decision to make. You don't decide, I think I'll pull left. You just pull left.
Yeah.
And he started yelling. I'm like, all right, listen. That's why I love the guy. He's like, you're here. You're either you're here or go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. There's no faking it. Like, there's no faking it in the real life with these guys. So that's one good thing I also like that prepared me for this Barstool life is that all these fuckos that might, listen, Barstool fans are 99% gangster, awesome, thankful, grateful, amazing. I run into these people in the street and they're like, I love your shit. I love this. I love KFC. I love Big Cat. I love Hank. I love Dave. The only haters on the internet. But it just trains you. It's just like a thing. It's like, this is real. You're getting kicked in the fucking leg. You might be hurting for a month, but you're learning from the best. And that's all I got. We're at the 3-hour mark, boys, and I might have to go to bed.
Yeah, it's creeping up on it. But, dude, this has been fucking awesome.
Well, I'm with two fucking absolute soldier-ass, delicious, amazing human beings. And I don't mean delicious in a gay way.
Maybe you do.
I mean, like in haircuts. Maybe in a little bit. I mean, I might lick a little sweat, but not a big... Listen, that's not...
I mean, look how I'm wearing this hat right now. It's a little bit sexy.
It's mildly
gotta
gay.
Fucking pull low.
It's mildly gay.
Dude.
I might pull that down from the fucking front side if I'm doing work from the back, Todd. I don't know.
You guys have been awesome, dude. Fucking thanks for hanging out. This has been fucking great.
I think I've drank about a bottle of whiskey tonight.
I have downed 2/3 of my moonshine. So
I would like to know. I'm sure someone can cut it wherever this started.
Yeah.
But I have some Few Labatt blues as well.
Listen, Todd, I think it's important for all the ladies to know that none of us are single.
I'm definitely not, and I'm happily, and
I am
Responsibly.
happily engaged, about to be married. You are married, Matt.
Fucking hitched up, bro.
Do you
Hitched
just
up.
know, guys? Like, listen, I know I'm gonna marry my lady. I know I'm done. Like, this is a wrap. Do you just make the call?
I think
and,
so.
And do you just hit the jewelry store?
I
Listen,
think so. I did. In my case, I was like, and I've been married twice before. I was like, I'll never do that again. And then this lady, I was like, man, she can fucking hang no matter what. You know what I mean? Like thick or thin, fucking this bitch is do or die. She's in there. She can cuss me up one side or the other. Fucking, you're a piece of shit. Look what you just did. And then the next day, we can eat breakfast and have some fucking Bloody Marys, and it's all good again. So I'm like, yeah, I think this one's a keeper.
I fucking love Bloody Marys.
Right?
God, they're so good.
I love a good Bloody Mary. And spicy pickled green beans, fucking incredible. But I will express two thoughts. Number
All right.
one, getting married is the worst fucking idea on the planet for a dude. Period. Second is that having a fucking homie is the best fucking thing on the planet for a dude. Because bitches are fucking nuts on so many different levels. But we're all fucking crazy. It
Yeah.
just depends on the level of crazy alike.
Yeah.
So whether our crazy bounces out their crazy, whatever the fuck it is, it's rather irrelevant. As long as I don't see her that bad at all. It means that you two are fucking solid for each other.
Right?
That's
the
how it
way I
goes.
look at it. I'm like, hey,
That's how it goes.
there's very few women have ever entered my life. Really only one to this point in my life, and I'm fucking 48 years old. Only one lady who can hang there and be at the level of my boys like you two. Like, I don't have very many boys in my life, like, but you two are there, and I'm like, I have to put her there. And once you have somebody that's of the opposite sex who can hang in that crew, you're like, got to keep that fucking person around, you know? Got to keep him there. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say how much I love you guys. I also want to say that I would love to do an episode with the boys from $1 Million Worth of Game. Someone asked that in the comments.
All right.
What the fuck is $1 million worth of game?
They're a badass podcast that picked up on Barstool the last 6 months or so.
Tell those bitches if I don't know who they are, they can choke on a small dick.
They ain't gonna do shit to you either way. But anyways, in a few days, 3 days from now, CBS, we got a little Bellator fucking come up.
CBS Sports
Hey,
Network.
listen. All they're gonna see is me punching and kicking this fucking bloated vagrant in the face, motherfucker. That's all they're gonna see.
It's a great fight. It's a great fight, and it's a great fight of you want to see one of the best on his feet to ever do it at that weight class, and then a guy who's pretty good at taking people down, like
And
that
trying
matchup.
to get her pregnant.
Yeah.
Hey,
You know what I
go
love about
at
this? This is what Joe Rogan does all the time, 3-hour shows. No
I
big
know.
deal. So people listen if they're having a good time, and that's it. I don't give a fuck if 6 people listen. We get to like live it up, enjoy it, really let go, and connect and talk and communicate and share.
We did
That's all
pretty
that matters,
good, man. And then when this is over, I'm going to extract the audio and put it in Funtown, which will go out tomorrow for whoever wants to listen tomorrow and hear it all over again. So I always fucking love hanging with people I love. And I don't really care who's watching. It's great that people do. I would do this if nobody was watching, to hang out with you two guys and get to fucking shoot the shit and catch back up.
But
Yes,
we've
sir.
done that so many times. It's just people get the privy to watch us now.
Yeah.
That's the funny
Yeah.
part, right?
Yeah,
Like
it
we've
really is.
literally sat around and done this exact thing fucking 23 times.
Oh, yeah.
And Mitrione, we're gonna do something else again, because I want to put out something as well about your thing in the next few days on CBS about your fight.
Nice.
Yeah.
And listen, this is what we do. You know, we're media at the top of what we do, and I'm just
Hey, how about
happy you're my
this?
friend.
How
I'm
about
happy to talk to
next
my brother.
time? Next time either one of us do something, I'm gonna eat about as much of shrooms as I can handle. And I'm gonna
Sweet.
do a fucking interview about as tripped out or as composed as I can do it, depending on how much I eat.
If you let mushrooms sit in your apartment for a while, does the potency go away? I might or might
I-
not have a quality
I was like,
dose.
I have
No.
access to mushrooms from the same person who maybe gave me this moonshine, and I am willing to go on camera on this thing and
Todd.
fucking do mushrooms for the first time in my life
No,
with you
please.
guys.
Can we do
Wait,
this?
you
I
haven't-
will.
you
I will
never eaten
drive my
mushrooms?
truck to Indiana because I still have tags that are out of date, almost a year now.
Yeah.
But the insurance is good. The payments are good. But I will drive there. If it's the first time that you do mushrooms, we have to have it as a group. We
All
can't
right,
do it on
we
Zoom.
can all do it together.
It has to be
here.
in person in your backyard.
Okay.
With the
Is it legal for me to show my mushrooms and let the fans pick them out?
I don't
think-
know if
I
that's
think
legal.
if they're real or fake. Is
Exactly.
this satire? Is it real? Does it
Because I
matter?
might have 6 ounces of shrooms
Okay.
to share.
Well, good enough. That's good
Totally
enough.
kidding. I'm
Guy's
totally
a fucking jokester. Now listen, Mitrione will be at the Funny Bone in Syracuse on Thursday through this Saturday. Hey,
All I'm
guys.
saying is the first time I do shrooms, I want to do it with you too. So,
fucking right. Like I love you, motherfuckers.
Yes, and we're doing it in
I
your
love y'all.
backyard, Todd. After we build your shed, your barn. This is for you guys. I love you both. I thank all the fans and all the homies that literally stayed with us for 3 fucking hours. Because I know, as a goddamn dude, I don't know if anybody can hold my attention for 3 hours.
yeah.
But I
This
can
is
do
a
it with
long
you
time.
too. I love them. I love you too.
Love you guys. All right. We'll see you guys soon. All right. I'm going to end this motherfucker, go to bed, and then soon we'll do the shroom cast
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Hell yeah.
and
I
build
love
that
you guys.
fucking.
Thanks for
pub
having me
shit.
on, Todd.
All
love
right,
you,
brother.
me. Later, boys.
Love you, dog.
Love you. Love you, Matt. See you, brother.